Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's outing of the Gold BOL Scouting Grounds. I am once again Bickle here with you. I will be joined by Bully in a little bit, but he's doing this thing called drafting for his team because apparently he's actually good at this game, unlike me. But we'll be jumping straight in the draft today between Team Pocket and Team Carrot. We're starting right off the bat, banning away the Shyvana of I Hate People, one of his strongest picks, no surprise here. From the side of Carrot, we're likely going to see some expected bans like this Liliat targeted at SG Vesuvius, as well as some potential mid lane bans coming out at SG Jet. But instead, we see Soraka banned away by Paka Squad, possibly targeting Bamboo down at support, and Mundo also being taken off the board, a really strong top laner that's very just safe with his CC immunity. He's allowed to go where he pleases, and he doesn't have those terrible matchups that a lot of top laners are used to. Something to note, we are on patch 13.1, so along with ranks being reset, we have a lot of new changes coming in across the board that will shake up the meta a little bit. The strongest chance we've seen in the past, the Mundos, the Fioras, the Aatroxes, the Cassantes, and the, thank God, Zeriyumis have all been nerfed, whereas champs like Jace, Lissandra, Shaco, Sion, Twisted Fate, and Xayah have gotten buffs. We've seen adjustments on Jax and Rammus. The Giraffe is continuing. We've seen Nami banned out, possibly eliminating that Lucian-Nami pairing, whereas Silas is taken away from mid lane. But that leaves SG Jack's major champion on the board. They grab it early. It's going to be the Syndra heading mid lane. That is the champ Jack has quite a lot of experience on, has found a lot of success with. The response, though, from the side of Team Carrot, we're grabbing the Maokai and the Ahri. Ahri, that response mid laner. Maokai, a nice flexible pick, has that ability to head top, head jungle, head support, really wherever you need him. We've seen some dot builds with a demonic embrace, a Leandries, and that red pet in the jungle, or we've seen just more tank focused with Jackshow. Though Jackshow was nerfed this patch, still a pretty good item. Tanks in general in a very nice space. What I'm curious to see as this day goes on, if we see any of the new mages come in that are going to make use of the double buffs that came in to both Rod of Ages and Seraph's Embrace. Mages that can use those two items are going to be very happy right now. Paka Squad, though, responds with the Amumu, another flex pick. This could possibly be heading towards the bot lane for more of a kill-focused lane, or a really just well-rounded jungler, brought and all about, also benefiting from these new tank items that came in with the season. And Paka grabs the first 80 carry of the game, grabbing the Xayah. Really safe, peel-worthy with that ultimate Featherstorm, has the ability to play safe and peel for herself in a way. She was also just buffed on this patch, getting herself some extra attack speed. And Carrot Squad, though, looks like they're going to respond in the top lane, grabbing that Aatrox. Was just nerfed this patch, with damage coming off of his passive, alongside extra healing coming from his World Ender away. But still a strong champ based off those Darkened Blade stacks alone. That means this Maokai either heading to the jungle or the support pool, and based on how the bans are coming out, Carrot Squad banning out that Fiora as a counterpick towards that top lane Aatrox. They said, we want to pick the Aatrox here, and we're going to ban around it to make sure we have a winning matchup top. Along with that, though, Paka Squad now up. We see that with the Ahri and the Aatrox, we know an 80 carry is needed still for Carrot, as well as either a top lane, as well as either a jungler or a support, depending on where this Maokai is going to end up. Really, we'll have to wait and see. Bans again coming out. Cassante as well banned, just opening up the top lane into two harder matchups for Aatrox. Good to see that focus there. Paka Squad, meanwhile, Tristana, Varus, poking down that 80 carry pool. They don't know if Maokai's going jungle or support, so they're focusing on what they know they can ban out, which is the 80 carry. But with those all banned out, what it seems like Carrot's squad is going to pivot towards is, despite her recent nerfs, will possibly be the Zeri. Zeri was just hit with a base AD growth decrease, as well as damage lost on her Q the later the game goes on her burst vial. It still starts at 15 damage per bullet to start, scaling up to 23 now as opposed to the 27 it used to. So still the same champ early game, but as the game gets later, she's going to be a bit weaker of a DPS threat. With that, I'm wondering if Carrot Squad decides to go into something that's become very common and very oppressive in the Zeriyumi and decides to keep that Maokai in the jungler. We'll have to see what Paka's response is here, as they still need their top laner and possibly their jungler. They're going to grab the Olaf to deny to give themselves really someone who's not afraid to run in and just be a strong duelist. Then again, flexible top or jungle, depending on where the Samumu could go. So really, a lot of questions still left unanswered. The only thing we know for sure right now is that as a Syndra mid and a Xayah AD carry, we likely, if I had to take a guess, still need a jungler. So I'm guessing this is an Amumu support with an Olaf top. We'll have to wait and see. This Paka squad is counting down the moments. And that is a Diana heading into the jungler, giving them a bit more AP damage. Diana has in the past and currently also has a nice tank build available with access to Jack shows that we'll see if they choose to go for that, or more a burst focused build, or if she wants to try out the new Rod of Ages, or buffed Rod of Ages, should I say. Gives a nice well rounded bit, but it is a very high AP focus in that mid between the Syndra and the Diana. Meanwhile, Carrot seems like they're going with an Enchanter here, sticking that Maokai in the jungler and just buffing up the Zeri even more. Zeri Lulu, not as quite oppressive as Zeri Yumi, though Yumi and Zeri were both nerfed. Lulu herself can be such a strong champion if played well. The polymorph alone can really be a matchup and game changing in any sort of fight, as suddenly your carry can't do anything for a couple seconds while they're a squad. And that's always fun for everybody involved. So really, looking at all things involved, we have BHAP and Grimer up top side, going on between the Olaf and the Aatrox. I personally give that, even after the nerfs, a bit of an Aatrox favored matchup, so I'd give it to BHAP. On Carrot's side, junglers, we have the Diana going up against the Maokai. I still think Maokai is one of the strongest champs in the game right now, so I'm going to have to give I Hate People that edge over Vesuvius. They'll have to see how execution comes into the situation. For Pocket and Carrot now at the mid lane, we have Syndra taking on Ahri, and I'd personally say this is a Syndra favored matchup. Part of it, I know Jack loves this champion so much and has a lot of experience and success with it, but also I think Syndra is one of the strongest mid laners there is right now. So really, I'm looking to see how that can translate and scale with the map. And then come the bot side, we have the Xayah and Amumu going into the Zeri Lulu. Zeri Lulu going to be very scary as it continues to scale. So possibly look for the Xayah Amumu to make good use of their CC locking between the Feather Call alongside that Bandage Toss to lock down early and potentially look for some early kills. That's really I expect this focus to be between the mid and the bot lane. So I kind of expect these junglers to focus down in those areas as where we'll see most of the action. Yeah, so looking at these champs to see who was involved in the most recent patch. Let's see, off the top of my head. So we know that Aatrox was hit with a nerf to his healing, which only involves in his World Ender as well as the max health damage in his Darkened Blade passive. Won't be as effective against the Olaf, though honestly you're not looking as much at the percent max health from that, but the healing in the World Ender is where it's really going to matter. Along with that, we see Zeri was nerfed, as we mentioned, with her AD scaling less as the game goes on. Still a very oppressive champion, especially when paired with something like this Lulu to further enhance. Xayah did gain some attack speed buffs, so that's going to be very nice for Paka's squad to benefit from that. But those are all the champions involved here. The real question is, what sort of items may they look into? We saw changes to Axiom Arc, to Jack shows, to Winter Focus, to Seraph's Horizon Focus, Rod of Ages, and we also saw Tenacity nerf in Legend Tenacity. So overall, I think, well, with how things are going to be changing, give it the nerfs and buffs, I personally like the comp that Carrot Squad has outlined more. I think the Aatrox Maokai jungle is still a very strong pair, and I think it's really going to be on the likes of SG Jack and Ghost Machine to make something happen and snowball their own. Now we are heading into the in-client draft. Normally, I'd talk to Bully to see what he thinks about these, but he right now is drafting for his own team, so we are going to throw it to a quick break while they do the in-client draft and the spectator delay, and hopefully when we come back, we'll be getting into game number 1 between Paka Squad and Carrot Squad. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with game number 1 of the night between Pocket Paul Squad and Holy Carrot Squad. I am Bickle, and I'm finally joined by Bully. Bully, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Unfortunately, I have to cast and coach at the same time. So, yeah, this is going to be a fun night.
Well, immediate thoughts, considering we're going to be getting into game here. Luckily, no level 1 action, so I can actually ask you, what do you think of the comps? Who do you think's a favorite here?
Let's take a gander. So we have Aatrox. Oh, versus Ola? That's going to be a spicy top lane. It's obviously kind of, a snowball lane. If one gets ahead, then it's going to be a dangerous time for the other team.
Vanish Toss going in here, procs the Glacial Augment, Jack trading a little bit, getting himself a bit of damage onto it, plus a nice stack already. Actually, did he get one? No, I don't think he got any Splinters of Transcendent there. Just a little trading, nothing too exciting going on. Something to note, both bot laners looking identical here. Lethal Tempo with Flash and Flash and Cleanse.
Just a little bit of shenanigans. I'm curious to see what they decide to do as junglers. Which lane they're going to focus. Obviously, each of these lanes actually are very, very. I wouldn't say high damage. There's a lot of potential out of every one of these lanes to carry the game.
All 3 of these lanes can be highly volatile.
Yeah.
Aatrox pops his Dark Blade. He has no abilities. That's Conqueror's stock. Grimer, he's
Oh,
running
there
down
it
the
is.
undertows and just autos him down. First
Yeah.
blood picked up by Grimer topside.
And that's the danger of of Olaf. It's just so much damage level 1, just throwing axe after axe after axe. Bap actually did not decide to flash, so has to expend the TP to get back the lane, gives up first blood. Grimer is now set to, be this bully in this top lane.
Very much so. And really, what we saw there with Bap is something also to note. He is running the Dark Harvest instead of the Conqueror that we're used to seeing on Aatrox.
hmm I
That
think he's
is
looking to
something
one-shot somebody. And Dex actually goes back bot lane. Oh my god, so much damage! Oh.
All the damage.
I don't know if Ghost Machine had to go melee form or flash into melee form to actually get that kill, but he decides to do that. Interesting enough.
A little bit. But we go. They're looking on to Smokey, though.
Wow.
Yeah. Forces
Yeah.
to flash.
Yeah, so right now this game already took a turn, and it looks like it's all on the blue team to win, and Jack hits another combo. Just,
Yeah, Jack's
getting these
just
stacks.
chunking him right now.
Yeah, because Syndra basically scales off getting, because of her like mid-scope update. I'll say, how many months ago was that? A few months ago?
That's got to be a few months ago.
Yeah.
Doesn't even feel that long ago, though, because it's such a nice mid-scope update. They really
Yeah.
did a nice thing for her. She's
Uh,
much in a better place than she used to be.
You can see how scared Bap is, up here, just because.
Oh, Vesuvius is here, though. Lands the Crescent Strike,
Oh,
trying to
wow.
walk him down. Infernal Chains, though, double combo into the sweet spot. Flash in. Vesuvius barely lives with a sliver of HP.
Yeah, I just didn't respect the damage Aatrox can do with one full combo, and Grimer has to
Grimer.
respect it as well.
Grimer's in trouble. He does have to walk back a little bit. Feeling a bit aggressive after that first blood. Something to note, I8 people already still down bot side saying, you know what? Not much I can do for top lane at the moment.
Yeah, and he's actually spotted down there, so it's pretty safe for mid lane right now. They're able to CS up. Jack is actually running the first strike, and I wonder how many stacks they have because they've been landing a couple. Oh wow, they already have 41.
Wow, yeah, 41 damage off the first strike,
Yeah.
47 gold gained, and actually, double check if I saw it.
That's quite a bit
23
already.
stacks of Splinters of Wrath, working
Yeah.
towards that Q upgrade to get him the double Dark Sphere. We'll have to wait and see.
Uh-oh,
It
here we
seems
go. Grimer's gonna go aggressive.
Grimer's just running him down. There's the
Oh,
undertows
he
and the
short
autos.
armed the
Oh, he's
axe.
short on it!
No.
Not what you like to see. He thought he could run him down, but was short on that undertow, so he's not going to be able to pull it out. Something to note here, Diana with those double daggers, likely looking at a Nashor's Tooth, so could possibly see, but Grimer again looking at it, but Bap just trying to run it back. Pull back in, though.
Oh.
Auto's coming in here, forces the flash away out of Grimer.
Yeah, and even though Grimer got that first blood,
Here's the World Ender, though. He's trying to
Bap
run him down
wants
with the extra
the
move
kill.
speed. He has the Umbral
There it
Dash
is.
up, and there it is. Darkened Blade for the kill. That's a response top lane. We get another kill on the board. This one going over to Bap.
Yeah, and after giving up first blood, we said how volatile this game could be, and then Bat decides to take matters to his own hands, gets kill for himself, and now it feels like Bap just is on the driver's seat in top lane.
Absolutely. Bap was in a rough spot, but now he's back in a good spot. Only if a Doran's Blade to his name right now hasn't gone back. He's taking that back now. We'll have to see what he comes back into the game with. We're expecting to head for that Eclipse build that's become so
Yeah, he's
popular
gonna
with
get
that extra
the Dirk.
lethality, and there's the Dirk.
It's pretty solid, and look at this bot lane. It's in like almost a frozen state, and remember that the bot lane for Smokea and Helium, they don't have flash.
And we do see Vesuvius taking that back right now. Question is, will they look the path down here? Dragon is up, as is their bot buff. So that is likely where their eyes are. But it looks like I Hate People has a similar idea, as they already pushed in this bot side and are possibly rotating over for this dragon. But it looks like they're trying to bait on this pink ward.
Yeah, they're probably just trying to make sure that their Maokai can secure it. But obviously, right now, the CS is actually even in the bot side, minus the support CS difference. Welcome to Relic Shield. Um, but
Speaking of
look at mid
CS,
lane.
Jack already has a 22 CS lead mid.
Yeah, it's it's actually a really big difference. And then this mid lane is actually pretty volatile because it's basically whoever lands their CC first will take a massive trade. And
There's a scatter just for extra poke off.
Jack just hits
20
the scatter
CS up
weak
for Jack. Jack's already
constantly.
finished the lost chapter.
Hmm. And in bot lane,
Big
looks
wave
like,
up here for Bap.
Sylvia.
Goes aggressive.
Oh.
Catches an undertail. Yardage are coming in.
Uh-oh.
World Ender comes out. They're looking to fight this. There's the Ragnarok. Atlas is here. I don't know if you want this, Atlas. Grimer's able to take down Bap. Dodging out. There's the flash over, but he misses the charm. Grimer just running him down. Pops the shield.
Oh no! It goes
out
from
is able
bad
to
to
take
worse.
down Atlas as well. 2-0 topside. Grimer says, bring them all. I want it.
And to add insult to injury, Atlas used the flash, the ultimate to ignite, loses a ton of minions in the mid lane turret. The team loses the dragon, and Grimer picks up 2 kills in a volatile lane, just going back and forth up there. But with those kills, it feels like Grimer is just going to take control.
Oh yeah, Grimer just broke open this game. Double kill topside, gave Jack free reign mid, got him a plate, and more of a CS advantage, and the first Hex Dragon of the game. That's exactly what you like to see if you're on Pocket Paul's squad right now.
Yeah, and we already saw that mid lane was going super well for Jack with the mass CS lead, and the fact that Atlas had to blow their summoners means that Jack is just gonna have complete control. It's gonna be a very, very scary Syndra throughout the
Absolutely. Jack's already been doing a great job of landing those scatter the weak combos. If Vesuvius is there to follow up, that's a dead Atlas.
Yeah, and we see. Oh wow, Jack has 43 splinters right now.
Jeez, that is something.
And you know what that means?
That means he's got double Dark Spheres already.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. Gained 78 gold for first strike. They're just relaxing at this point. They're gonna have total
and Jack
control
has
over
continued to grow his CS lead almost to 30 now.
Yeah, and the big thing is Vesuvius doesn't need to do anything aggressive. Could just power farm. All the lanes are doing really well, and eventually, not only have to be scared of an Olaf, Ghost Machine already has a kill. You're gonna have to be scared of a Diana in this mid lane, or mid to late game.
Decker flash over the wall, lands the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Grimer running in, no landing of that Moonfall, but it does not matter. Decker alongside Grimer and Vesuvius are able to pick up the kill onto I Hate People. Looks like they're going to go straight into that Herald. With this, though, Smokey and Bamboo know that if Ghost Machine's
they're
alone
gonna
down here,
possibly
they're gonna
look for a
push
dive in the bot side, but
you can't really dive a Syndra. I mean,
no,
you can't really dive a Zai who's got Featherstorm.
Yeah, the Featherstorm will possibly at least take one with her, if not just take one and not die.
Yeah, but it looks like Ghost Machine's respecting it. They don't have eyes on Atlas, who's rotated down, so he's just gonna back it up.
Yep, and during that time, looks like Vesuvius and Decker are just headed back topside. They might look for the dive themselves.
Absolutely. Bap right now down to about a third health. Oh, this is not what you want to see. They already have a Herald up here, too.
Yep.
This man's already dead. It's just a matter of can he take somebody with him. They drop the pink in case Jack wants to TP. There's the World Ender. Bandage toss in. Grimer goes in. Bap is able to trade it off the flash, take down that Decker guy, but it is so much gold going over to Grimer right now. Vesuvius and Grimer both grab 350 off that falling of the tower. And oh boy, Chunk coming out mid though. Jack takes Atlas down to half health combo.
Yeah, and we see this gold already going to a 4.5k gold lead.
2k of that is on Grimer alone, as he has 6k to the 4k of Bap.
Wow.
People looking
he might actually get this inner
Decker's here though. Featherstorm comes out, they peel it back with the Blade Caller. I Hate People's alone, the TP comes in, Curse of the Sad Mummy. I Hate People's forced onto Ghost Machine, who's looking to chase him down. Flash does not get the root off the Blade Caller, and it looks like Jack was in the area off the TP to force out Smokey and Bamboo. So that is just 1-0 Ghost Machine picking up his next kill of the game.
during that time, Grimer actually took the tier 2 as well on the top side. We all know how much gold a tier 2 outer turret gives.
Yeah,
So
and if running away from Grimer was hard to begin with, now he has a stride breaker to keep it even closer.
he's up 2.6k gold over Bab. So that's very lethal. You're gonna have a scary Olaf running after you. On top of that, we saw Ghost Machine pick up a kill. Interesting enough, the mid lane CS difference is actually closing just slightly.
A little bit.
But the jungle difference in terms of CS is massive, mostly because Diana was able to free farm this entire time, showing up just a little bit. But I want to highlight the fact what's happening with the support picks. Decker is able to freely roam because how safe Zaya is. There's not a big kill threat in the bot side where two champions can dive. Oh no!
Grimer's looking at this. He doesn't care that it's a 2v1. He's going in. Zeri uses that Spark Surge to get away, but here's mid lane. Diana goes in off that Moonfall, is able to pick up I8 People, was looking at a bush play off the Nature's Wrath, was not able to get anything. Vesuvius, meanwhile, picks up the kill onto I8 People. Smokey, though, off that Spark Surge bot lane, does live. Decker's not done, though. He's looking at Atlas mid. Atlas, meanwhile, though, playing it safe, walking away.
Yeah, and this is going to be a free dragon. Pretty much has to go uncontested because of where everyone's playing. No TP on Bab. So that will be a second dragon taking the game. Let's see what soul it is. It's going to be Chemtech.
Yeah, Chemtech Drake, always a fun soul. These blast plants, Striders, blooms, all the plants that do so much more. It's gonna be really fun. Our first time seeing it here on the new Summoner's Risk. Grimer, meanwhile, just taking more money.
Yeah, that actually makes it a 3k gold lead in the top side alone, or top lane alone. And
so, Bully,
7k
who do you put in the bot lane to respond to Grimer? Because my answer right now is nobody. You can't.
No, you have to put 2 people at least, if not 3. You have.
There's the bot duo.
Okay,
Grimer's just running at him. There's the Ragnarok. Chase him down. Forces a flash away by Bamboo.
Oh, no!
Grimer's going back in.
Wait.
There goes the Wild Growth to keep him alive.
Okay,
and Zeri off the Lightning Crash is able to chase him down. It's a massive shutdown. Meanwhile, topside, the Scatter of the Weak into the Unleashed Power is enough to take down Bap. Jack picks up the kill, but is a 1-for-1 trade across the map that very much favors Holy Carrot Squad as the monster that is Olaf has fallen.
Yeah, a big thing is that Zeri was able to actually get the shutdown, the 700 gold shutdown, I believe. No, it's only 300. Oh my god.
Really? That's surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zeri able to get that shutdown, in part kiting back with that Spark Surge alongside the Lightning Crash.
Yeah.
And a great Wild Growth by Bamboo to keep it alive, paired with the exhaust on the Olaf, means the damage just wasn't there.
Yeah, it's definitely much needed gold for one of your carries. Right now, it looks like a very difficult game to play. But the bright side is, you have the tools, you have the damage, you have the CC to pick off some of these members and try to mount some kind of comeback. And it all starts with vision. You gotta get the vision up, and you start making sure you keep vision in at least one quadrant. Obviously, you can't go into the enemy jungle and start trying to keep vision. That's not gonna work. But if you're able to get enough vision in your own area, and someone ends up overextending, get that pick, use that pick to CS up a little more, and keep making those small victories to turn them to big victories.
Absolutely. And while we're talking about victories, I consider this a victory for all of League, as Diana is going AP and not a tank. There's the Undertow, lands in, Bat pops that World Ender against the Ragnarok of Olaf, running him down. Otto's coming back and forth. Conqueror has been stalking Grimer. Flash follow. Undertow does not land. He's trying to shoot double. Look who's in the area. It's Smokey. The Umbral Chain pulls him back. Smokey pops the Lightning Crash, able to chase him down. Grimer was not able to keep that Ragnarok up long enough with the autos to get the extra move speed to chase down Bap, and he was able to kite back to where Smokey was, where a 2v1 was again too much for the Olaf to handle.
Yeah, and Smokey is just able to go pick off the Grimer yet again, and that relieves a lot of pressure, allowing Bap to at least pick up some farm. It was actually a decently close fight.
Decker's
relatively.
in here though, lands the
But
bandage toss, but there is the curse of the Sad Mummy as I Hate People goes in. Meanwhile, Atlas diving into Decker. Featherstorm comes out by Ghost Machine, forced to flash away. Baron is called off. Vesuvian goes in, lands a 2-man on that Moonfall, but is exhausted. That is 3 falling with the fact that Olaf was down there, has TP'd into the fight. He is behind, does not have it though.
I
Yes,
Hate
meanwhile,
People is
sorry,
gotta be
this
careful.
wasn't Baron. This was a Herald. Meanwhile, Olaf running in, has that Ragnarok has fallen off. He's down now. Polymorph comes out. Bap is just autoing him down. Twisted Advance by I Hate People is able to lock him down. And that's a massive swing going the way of Team Holy Carrot as 4 members overall had fallen. And Grimer was 2 of them.
Yeah, and that all started with the pick on Grimer, right? So you relieve pressure bot lane, and you're able to stop a Herald play, which means that you pick off a couple members, and then Grimer, unfortunately, decided to try to go in for the kill against Maokai. Maokai still had flash. So a lot of gold going back into the pockets of Team Holy Carrot.
Absolutely. I gotta say, Helium Bamboo is making some great usage of exhaust. So far, they've exhausted the Olaf running into their team that stopped them from murdering Smokey. And he exhausted Vesuvius on the Moonfall to basically stop a double kill onto himself and Smokey.
Yeah, honestly, if you're Diana and you get exhausted, is one of the most annoying things because you feel like you do 0 damage because your burst damage just becomes like half, and it's barely anything. But look at this gold lead. We almost had like a 8k gold lead or something. It was at least 7k, and we cut that down to 2.9k right now.
Absolutely.
We said this was going to be a
Chemtech
volatile
Dragon
game.
is the next thing up on the board.
It's definitely showing.
Absolutely. Grimer to zone them completely off one entrance. Of course, with these enhanced blast cones, they have much further range to try and maneuver around. But right now, Team Pocket Paul has complete control of the river. Hold on. Grimer goes over the wall with that Nature's Wrath comes in, tries to lock people down. Big ulti, though, coming out of the curse. But the Moonfall is massive for the side of Pocket Paul, and they combo it all down. Bap is the last man alive, and that is an ace.
That's a clean ace.
That's a clean ace. That is an easy dragon off a fantastic engage by Decker into a beautiful Moonfall by Vesuvius.
Yeah, and they felt that they could take a 5v5. The problem is the control went to Pocket Paul in this Dragon Pit. They had full vision, which means they forced Team Holy Carrot to actually run into them. It gave Decker such an easy chance to make an engage play. A lot of CC, they was able to layer a lot of damage on top of each other, and the fight was over instantly.
Absolutely, and we're talking a lot about Vesuvius on that Moonfall, but Ghost Machine did a great job playing the cleanup there. Comes out of it 5-0-2, 500 gold shutdown to his name right now. He has been having a silently pretty strong game, despite the fact being down in items against Zeri. He's done a nice job of playing cleanup when he needs to.
Yeah, and we just talked about the goal lead being like 2.9k. We're back to 7k.
It all takes one fight. That's all you need.
All it takes.
Absolutely. Jack right now sitting on 5 stacks of that Dark Seal has completed the Shadow Flame, so these first combos can be even more dangerous.
Yeah, and the big thing is Ghost Machine is kind of popping off at this point. They were able to pick a triple kill in that fight, which makes them a dangerous threat going forward. Even though it doesn't show it, Jack still has a ton of damage, has 2 complete items, 5 stacks on the Dark Seal. Definitely could 100 to 0.
Speaking
Atlas.
of stacks, Jack right now at 86 Splinters of Wrath. That means he does have the upgraded Scatter the weak for that extra slow afterwards. Does not yet have the Execute or the extra AP. Those are still scaling towards it. So Jack's only going to get even stronger.
Oh yeah, once the Execute comes in, that ultimate by itself can just annihilate somebody. Obviously,
we got
like
a good old Fnatic Death Brush there. 4 people standing in. Luckily, I Hate People playing it smart, using those saplings to ward out the areas.
Uh-oh.
Bandage toss, so Decker lands it, pulls it back, Scatter the Weak lands onto I Hate People. Grimer going to run him down.
Grimer actually
forced away.
That.
Grimer goes for the flash follow, is not able to get over the wall, and the proc.
Oh, they're going for the Baron, and it's getting pinged out as well.
Baron off it. They know they chunked I Hate People. They're going straight in, and Grimer's right back to the zone, and I Hate People away. So the 4 members of Pocket Paul are just going
And Bap
for
has
this.
TP. Let's see if he tries to TP into this. He TP's top side.
DP's topside, so they're looking to fight here. Laser comes over the wall. That is just the Nash going over to Vesuvius. But I Hate People goes into Grimer, locks him down. Ragnarok is not there. That's a shutdown. Going to Smokey. And that is a Baron gone from the biggest side laner on the side of Team Pocket Paul.
Yeah, and definitely a really good play. You know, specifically from Grimer, because he was able to keep I Hate People out of the Baron pit, so the chance of a smite steal wasn't there. And then obviously, as he got picked off, just trying to go a little bit too aggressive, he just basically ran away. And
All Pocket Paul squad needed to worry about was the Ultra Shock laser steal, but don't worry, that thing's not a free Luxalt anymore.
that thing, actually, that when AP Zeri was a thing.
No, don't. Just don't.
Okay.
I don't want to remember these dark times.
Fine, fine.
Yeah, looking, next dragon is going to be up in a minute 20. That is Soul for the side of Pocket Paul's squad if they can grab it. Looks like Decker's getting some vision out right now, getting all he can to control the area. And really, this Pocket Paul's squad is in complete control at the moment. Good side laning by both Grimer and Jack right now. We see Ghost Machine catching this mid wave, and we see Decker alongside Vesuvius looking at this roam potential. It just forces Team Holy Carrot to go where they want them to go. And they just have complete control of this map right now. And they force them out to these waves, and now look at this. They're clearing the river.
Yeah, and I just want to take a note real quick. Just the vision score coming out from Decker, definitely able to make plays because he's Moo. He's looking to just roam. He roamed in almost the entire game, and it definitely helped the entire team out. Definitely in the massive fight in the dragon, it kind of was an even game. Wasn't that even, but it was definitely made the game blow wide open.
Bit of trading coming out the top side. Bap lands a triple combo off his Darkened Blade. Smokey forced to Spark Surge over that wall. TP coming in. It is stopped by the Umbral Chain.
It is.
Bap, though, forced to run. He may have
for it.
life for it, and Grimer runs him down with the Ragnarok. Says, you know what? I'm not going to the fight.
Oh, but Grimer's just going to end the game if he's left alone.
Combo, though. I hate people trying to do what he can. Stolen by Atlas, gets the dragon. In comes Smokey, but that Feather Storm, those feathers, that unleashed power is too much.
Oh, that's Game Jack's gonna TP top side.
For the side of Pocket Paul, and that looks like it's gonna be game here. The SG Jack TP's top side. Him and Grimer are looking to end out this game in quite quick fashion. You may not have the soul, but what you do have is the game.
Yeah, Bap was able to cancel Grimer's TP. But instead, that caused his own demise, and that 4v4 went heavily in the favor of Team Pocket Paul, and then they just end the game in 25 minutes. This was a wild game, very good plays made by both teams. In the end, it looks like Team Pocket Paul's was just a little bit better, but, you know, you always have game 2, you always have game 3. It's not the end of the world, but great start by Team Pocket Paul.
Absolutely. I hate people trying to go for a good Maokai engage off the Nature's Grasp, but the Feather Storm from Ghost Machine success with these roams. I think, though, I'm going to have to give it to Grimer. He really opened the game up with those top lane plays. The solo kills helped him get ahead. Jack and Ghost Machine did great jobs on their own of basically keeping themselves ahead just by way of almost outplaying a little bit. Jack naturally had a 30 CS lead, like 10 to 12 minutes into the game, just off of farming better, and that's always what you love to see. But I think Grimer just really busted this game open and really helped put an end to the game with that kill topside against Pat.
Yeah, it definitely it was actually just a great game played by all five. It felt like even though they made a couple of misplays, they just came back and just went back on what they were trying to do, is play for the objectives, play for vision, find the fight you're looking for, and just slowly win the game. And it wasn't slow, it was fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Things turned out well in the end for the squad of Pocket Paul. That's what you love to see for them, and they found success with that.
Yeah, and it looks like Pack-a-Paw, that they looked extremely cohesive in the entire game. I think they felt like an actual premier team.
Absolutely. If you had told me these were just 5 people who got stuck together, I wouldn't believe you.
Yeah. I think a part of that is because Jack and Vesuvius did play together, so it helps when you're jungle mid duo.
Absolutely, they had that experience, which is always going to be helpful. But still, it's great to see a squad like this come together. So overall, I expect to see more success out of Team Pocket Paul, and really, I think they'll succeed going forward. They still have 2 games to go today, and we'll see how that is. But in all honesty, because Gold has 8 teams, you need to do well to advance to the next day. I think we'll be seeing Team Pocket Paul.
I agree. They just look too good.
Absolutely. All right, with that, while we get our next game set up and wait a little bit for games to finish up, we are going to head to a quick break. We will be back with the draft for game number 2 between Team Swamp Donkey and Team Solberg. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Gold Scouting Grounds day number 1. Second match of the day, we have Rabid Swamp Donkeys, who unfortunately took a loss in their first match, taking on Team Solbert, who took a win in their first match. And we are going to be heading straight into draft right now. Bully, what are you expecting to see a little bit of?
Well, we did find out that Team Solbert won their first game, while Rabid team unfortunately lost. Syndra ban coming out almost immediately. I've seen Syndra so many times today.
Syndra's so strong ever since her little mid-scope changes, along with the Caitlyn ban. Meanwhile, Team Solbert seems like they're taking a little shot at TD Pandorum, banning away the Twitch and the Victor, two champions he is very well known for, in a sense.
Yeah, and finally the Zac gets taken out. Very strong champion, especially with the new items. Uh, Makes him an unkillable like tank with a lot of damage.
Exactly. That's usually what you love out of your tanks, that they can take a lot of hits and also deal a lot of damage, because that's totally balanced. Last ban coming out is going to be that Maokai, obviously a triple flex between the top jungle and mid. That leaves up Dr. Mundo, though, likely heading to either Steel Fan or Helix.
Dr. Mundo, strong champion. Still a strong champion even after a nerf. Um, it's kind of absurd to see a Mundo crit for like 2.6k damage as a full tank.
Just stack all the HP, and that gives you even more AD thanks to your E. That's totally balanced.
Yep, hard steal for the win.
Response, though, we're going to see the Kaisa coming out of Team Solberg, heading down to Future Witness, a great AD carry, well-rounded, a lot of different ways you could pivot this, has AP potential, but you're obviously going to expect to see that AD crit marksman come out that can just shred through anybody, because when you're facing a Mundo, you need somebody who can shred those tanks.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes it may not feel like that when the Mundo just doesn't die. If the Kai'Sa gets ahead, the Kai'Sa could basically 1v9. Trundle is going to help a lot with just taking away a lot of MR and stealing resistances, and definitely will help the cause of killing this Dr. Mundo.
Absolutely. Definitely love to see a Trundle into a pure tank like the Mundo. You know, Mundo in particular is going to have a lot of health, but he's obviously from those tank items beginning getting some nice armor and resistances, which the subjugate of Trundle can just easily steal, making Trundle a nice beefy frontline and also helping to chunk through that Dr. Mundo response, though. We're going to see the Jarvan heading in towards the jungle, most likely. Really
Yep.
nice early ganker. That Dragon Strike with the Demacian Standard, just for that easy lockdown combo with the Cataclysm, just provides so much CC and brings it so early that as soon as Jarvan finishes his first buff, you need to worry about him ganking.
Yeah, definitely not a power farmer by any means. And so we'll probably see Jarvan just trying to, spam gank, trying to get some kills. Unfortunately, I've seen this quite a few times. If Jarvan's ganks aren't working or he's trying to force something, he's gonna fall behind. Um, and allowing someone like a Trundle to get ahead, um, does cause a lot of pain.
Absolutely. Next pick coming out is going to be that Senna, which really opens up this draft, as fasting Senna allows you to pivot into so many different supports. We could be sending that Mundo down bot side, we could be sending that Jarvan down bot side, depending on what comes up with that Senna. Solbert's response, though, is going to be a champ we've seen quite a lot of today and yesterday. It's going to be the Aatrox. He was just hit with a nerf on that healing and percent max health damage from his passive, but still a very strong, oppressive lane phase champion that, with the current builds that are around him, still heals for so much and is such a sustaining beast in team fights. First ban coming out, though, is going to be that Corki, again looking into that mid lane, whereas Rabid's team is seeming to target more the supports, taking away that Nautilus.
Yeah, they're trying to take away kind of hard engage onto the Senna, especially because Nautilus and Kai'Sa just work so well together. Mid lane is still going to get targeted with the Ahri ban, probably going to get locked.
Most likely locked, and that's just a lot of targets down to that mid lane, which makes me think that Solbert has a blind in mind that they want for their mid lane before leaving counter pick available for their support. If they're focusing on so many different champs banning away out of mid lane, you either want to limit what Pandorum is going to play, or you have a specific blind that you're just trying to ban away some counter.
Or you just want to basically see what their mid laner ends up picking, and then you can just pick whatever you want into them. Especially if you take away a lot of the comfort picks, it creates an issue where they might play something that they're not totally comfortable with. In which, if you get countered, or if there's a champion that, if Solberg gets a counter on that mid lane, it could create a devastating lane that they'll just get total priority, which means the top river, bot river, creates a whole area which can be roamed on.
Absolutely. The Pike ban also coming out, so Rabbids team really focusing in on those supports. And we do see the Alistar ban. I mean, the Alistar pick coming in, locking in that support, so leaving that counter pick mid for GVG number one to really counter whatever Pandorum brings out, as they've really tried to limit down that pool, focusing him in a certain direction, taking away the Victor, the Twitch, the Quirky, the R. So many picks taken away, one has to wonder what exactly Pandorum's going to pivot to. He does still have plenty of options available, but it'll be interesting to see what his choice is blind. That is a Seraphine, but I'm expecting that to be a Senna Seraphine bot duo.
Yeah.
As that is such an oppressive bot lane. So much healing, shielding, sustain. It is a nightmare to deal with.
Yeah, especially with the Kaisa All-Star, it's very low range. Kaisa is unfortunately a very low range. If she had a higher range, then she would be absolutely broken. And that's a Karthus to round it out.
That is a Karthus, which is likely heading into that mid lane for Pandorum.
That could be the Karthus bot lane and just Seraphine mid.
It could be Karthus. Karthus sent a bot with a Seraphine mid.
Yeah.
In all honesty, there's a lot of flexibility here to still see where things turn out. There is some nice flexibility on the side of Rabbit's team of not knowing where everything's necessarily locked into. Meanwhile, Team Solbert still wrapping it up. They have a mid laner. They're not sure what they're into, be it a Seraphine, the Karthus, anything like that. The picks of Vladimir, actually. Wow, that's out of the blue in a sense. Really late game scaling mage, the Hemomancer. Glad to see it.
Interesting. That is an interesting pick. But if you think about like their whole team, a lot of damage. Not a major tank besides Alistar. Aatrox bruiser, Trundle's a bruiser. Vladimir is pretty much a bruiser, just with health and magic damage, and you'll end up one-shotting both Seraphine and Senna. So they're definitely looking for like a later game play on Team Solbert. Rabbit Swamp Donkey's team should hold a lot of priority in this bot lane early on, just because of the range difference and the amount of CC. I'm going to expect this Karthus to go bot lane while the Seraphine goes mid.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how things turn out in the end. I'm really liking the front line that Rabbit Squad has with this Mundo and Jarvan. They have a nice bit of engage. Even if Mundo's engages, I run it very fast. Apparently, we're getting word that one team is jungleless in some sense. There's apparently a problem in chat. I do not know what is going on.
Interesting.
Apparently, unfortunately, CG Batman had an emergency come up, so they may not. Yeah, they are not going to be around, so they are going to have to leave. So they are likely going to find somebody to fill in, or we may pivot.
Yeah, let me see if I could help them out.
Looking at these drafts all around, Rabbit Squad really has a nice front line going on. Team Solbert, like you said, brings so much damage to the squad, but really relies on that Alistar to be the frontline tank, or anytime Trundle's able to pop that Subjugate onto the Mundo, can gain those tankier stats. Whereas Kaisa is going to be your frontline shredder of the squad. Vladimir can bring so much burst damage to that squad. If he can get to that Senna, that Seraphine, or that Karthus, he's just going to pop them anytime he can lay down the heat. But also, Rabbit Squad brings a nice bit of sustain in that Senna Seraphine as things sustain. As fights go longer, they're going to have that ability to heal up and fight through it. And Seraphine's ultimate can bring so much to a team fight just off how big a charm you can possibly get. Plus, yesterday when we saw Karthus, Requiem came in so clutch. We're expecting to see a similar situation right now as to how dangerous that Karthus pick can really be if played properly. And I'm really interested to see necessarily where this Seraphine and this Karthus end up going. I know Bully personally thinks that it's a Karthus Senna bot lane. I personally think it's a Seraphine Senna bot lane with that Karthus mid, but we'll have to wait and see exactly how things play out. Who knows? Knowing Pandorum, there's even a wild chance that this is a Karthus jungle Jarvan mid. We will have to wait and see, though, as while they get their situations figured out in regards to Team Solberg's jungler, we are going to take a small break, but we will be back soon with Team Rabbit Swamp Donkey taking on Team Solberg. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our second game of the day where we have Swamp Donkey Squad taking on Team Solberg. Luckily, though Batman had to go due to a family emergency, we do have the wonderful Billy Willard fill in for him. Thank you, Bully, for making that happening.
Yeah, I know Billy is like D3, so he's playing in Gold Scouting Grounds, but it's totally fine because he's an admin. No, I'm just kidding. He's totally eligible. He could have played if he wanted to in the draft pool, but he ended up not.
I think he's
But
coaching, isn't he?
he's coaching.
Sorry, team, I got to go and play for a completely different team. It's only be a
But
little awkward if they ever had to play each other.
wait a minute. Now that
They
I
don't,
think
I
about
checked.
it,
They don't. I checked. Wait.
they
Fuck. They do they?
they do play each other. Wait,
Uh-oh.
no. They played each other
They-
in game 1.
They already played each other. Okay,
Yeah.
we're good. Okay. I just realized, like, wait a second. All right, we are okay though. Just looking across the board, we do have that fasting Senna with a farming Seraphine as expected. Pandorum opting into that first strike Karthus build we saw yesterday that found success, except he's bringing it mid lane. We'll have to see what can be brought out this moment. And already, Mundo just doing as Mundo wants, obviously making use of that canister to just eat CC if he ever needs to, and be completely unaffected.
Yeah,
Throwing out
and
those infected bone saws, getting a nice chunk off.
it is the
Spiritless,
Seraphine
don't get away
Senna
with
bot
that,
lane.
yeah.
Very, very annoying to play against, and I'm gonna imagine that Future Witness and Moby White are gonna, fall slightly behind early on, just because of how much poke damage and CC that they have on the side of Team Swamp Donkey. But in the end,
Spiritless is just going to be able to get so much poke off. With that Senna.
something that they have though as Team Silver is the fact that they have All-Star Kaisa. They could engage very easily. Especially if Billy shows his face, if there's no flash in Spiritless or TDK, it should be an easy kill.
Yep. Right now, Moby White and Future Witness still stuck at that level 1, haven't been able to get that last minion. Moby White taking a lot of poke, though. We do see Billy wayward in the area, but Helix is mid. Wall of Pain comes down with a bit of chunking out of those lay wastes. Not much going to come out of it, though. The question is, will Billy head bot lane here? He has done a clear from top to bot, left up those Krugs. Does have that available now with the fact that TDK and Spirit are shoved up. Looks like he is looking for that. But he gets pinged out. So nothing too out of the ordinary now. Both junglers going back to farming. Except for Billy, already heading back bot, looking at this again, clearing out the ward, making sure that any future passes are not going to be interrupted.
Yeah, and I honestly expect this to be kind of a slow game. It's gonna be up to Helix and Billy Willard to actually make the plays. I don't see anybody aggressing on each other mid lane for quite a bit until like GVG number 1 hits 6, and then
Everybody wants to scale.
Yeah. Bot lane is going to be where the action is going to be pretty heavy. And Tommy might try to get good fights against Steel Fan, but we all love how Mundo is going to scale up to become
Doesn't
unkillable.
care whatever you do to him.
Yep.
That'll be really interesting to see what exactly happens. It'll be on a Tommy to really see if he can get that canister popped off and then set himself up for some nice combos with the Darkened Blade. We'll have to wait and see, though. Just a canister pop. But yeah, like you mentioned, Moby White is really going to be the one to try and make something happen across this entire map as the bot lane. He is the only real source of engage here, as everybody else in this bot side, happy to poke, happy to farm. Darkened Blade combos coming out. Steel Fan at about half health at the moment, a little less. And Billy is up topside if he ever wants to look for that gank with the Pillar of Ice. Steel Fan just happy to farm it out under tower, it looks like, though. It's chunked a little bit. Pops the Heart Zapper. Gonna get pulled back in. Flash in from the Q3 of the Darkened Blade at Tommy with the solo kill.
And that is absolutely massive.
That's
getting the kill
disrespect.
on Aatrox, getting some much needed early kills, and if he's able to basically dominate this side lane, it's gonna be very, very hard for the rest of the team to survive any kind of engage from the rest of the four.
Big credit has to go to Akutami there for knowing his damage ranges so well. The fact that he knew that Q3 sweet spot would do just enough to kill him, because if it doesn't, he's in trouble under tower. But really, as Steel Fan, holding that flash still may come back to bite him. Well, did come back to bite him, really. Right now, seeing how things are farming out, we do have a decent farm advantage, about 12 CS down bot side for TDK. Mid lane about dead even. Billy just clearing some vision right now as Pandorum tries to poke him out with those lane.
Yeah, Layways does a lot of damage. It's quite a bit. I used to be a big Karthus mid player. It's so fun because you can clear very easily, especially if your jungler's nice enough to give you the second blue.
Absolutely. Blue always makes Karthus' life even better and just gives him free mana alongside that Lost Chapter. Yeah. Everything kind of just back to stable right now. Everybody's farming out, a little bit of trading back and forth between the lay wastes and the transfusions. But big thing on the map now is that dragon. First one is on the map. It is that mountain dragon. We see
And
three
look
already
what we have
on
here,
it.
actually. It looks like Eyewitness and Moby and Billy are trying to start this dragon. And it's going to get snuffed out. They know it started. The big thing here is that...
Oh, Moby's going in. He's right in the middle of
Moby's
three of
separated from the
Pesto.
squad.
Nobody there to follow him up.
Yeah.
He just dives into his death.
Yeah, I think the call happened that GVG said that Karthus was roaming. And when that happened, it felt like Billy and Future Witness decided to just back off and Dragon and give it. But Moby just decided to engage. So a little bit of disconnecting communication there.
I admire the attempt. It just did not work out for him. Meanwhile, topside, Steelfan bopping away with his head there, going to get a plate, but is under tower, just going to walk away from the Tommy.
Woo!
Takes a bit of damage, has to pop the maximum dosage to get some healing back, was worried about the all-in potential of that World Ender when his Darkened Blade was back up, so choosing to play it safe, gets himself a power, gets himself a tower plate.
And look at this, Moby is roaming behind Pandorum.
Flash for flash traded, not deciding to go all in before buffering his headbutt pulverize combo, gives Pandorum the chance to flash away to safety.
On the bright side, Moby does have Hex Tech Flash, or Hex Flash, I don't know why I call it Hex Tech, but Hex Flash, and that's totally fine. It's definitely a worth trade in terms of summoners.
Absolutely, and right now we see Moby White up topside there with Billy on the Herald trying to take that away, as we just see Felix in the bot side clearing throughout his jungle.
Yeah, and it looks like the CS lead is actually in favor of TDK and Spiritless in the bot side. While in mid, it is going to GVG #1. I don't expect to see a lot more action to happen. Yes, there could be kills here and there, but like, I would be surprised to see a team wipe this early on unless it's like a next major objective.
It would have to take some miracle team fight or something to happen crazily for any sort of big, like, 5v5 to break out. Right now, though, Helix is mid, going on to GVG #1. Not going to end up going for the flag drag flash. Just lets GVG walk away, who has proc the phase rush, getting a bit of extra move speed.
Yeah, and Pandorum is actually low on mana, so he has to back. He doesn't have TP, so... Oh.
GVG actually steps up to get the
Yeah,
interrupt,
and
that is going to be rough for Pandorum, who may lose this wave under tower.
He'll definitely lose this wave. Ideally, Jarvan will come and pick it up, but it looks like Jarvan is actually headed towards his blue buff.
Yeah. Wants to get the resets on his camps more than he wants to get that mid wave. Steelfan again losing that canister off the Infernal Chain. Just Tommy doing a great job controlling this top side off that early solo kill.
Yeah,
He's pushing under tower now.
I believe Tommy almost has his flashback up. It's up now with Helix on the top side of the map. He's actually going to reset here. Oh, nope.
Not quite.
Looks like he's going to start this blue. And it's gonna hand it over to Pandorum.
Soulbird, it looks like, trying to get control of this bot river right now, clearing out to vision that was laid down by Spiritless on the Senna, who does have at least her second round of the Heroin Crescent finish to get herself a bit of place.
You know what's the beauty of Team Sober's comp?
What's that?
If you're the jungler, your top lane doesn't have mana, your mid lane doesn't have mana, so that means the blue buff is all yours if you're the jungler.
You don't have to share with anybody.
Exactly.
Absolutely. You just got to give a red buff to Kai'Sa. Tommy trading heavily up top there and really chunking out Steelfan, who's having a rough time at the moment. He is staying even in CS, though, which is all he can really ask for at the moment.
Yeah, especially
Next dragon
with
on the board is going to be in a minute
hands.
30. Spiritless just stepping up to trade. And Billy's
Billy's
in the area. He has blast coned over. Pillar of Ice catches Spiritless to slow him down, but a good beat drop going to disengage.
Yep, and that's the power right there. Just so much CC. Billy tried to get a gank off, and look right here. It looks like Helix is in this bush, and it is pinked. So if there's any kind of aggressive movement for Future Witness and Moby the White, they'll get immediately jumped on.
G5G stepping up a little bit, trying to get a trade back onto Pandorum, who's just doing his best to farm the Delay Waste. There's the Hextech alternated prop. There goes the Wall of Pain alongside that Defile. Pops the Hemo Plague, though. That is going to chunk out Pandorum massively, down to about a quarter HP. Meanwhile, GVG, completely full health, will have his sums up. Does still have that flash available if he wants to go for an all-in. The Pandorum's really got to be careful. There goes
I think
flash, Hemo Plague, not Hemo Plague, sorry, under the wall. Tides of Blood into the Sanguine Pool of the Transfusion. He's able to burst out Pandorum and get away safely. Solo kill coming in for
the Rift is going to be popped mid, so this is going to be a lot more gold going in the hands of both. Oh, it's going to actually be split. So still 160 more goldish, or 176, going towards GVG #1 and Billy Willard each. So, you know, they were down just about 1,000 gold, but that swing gold even things up. And not just that, the gold going over to the Vladimir is absolutely massive.
Absolutely. There goes the World Breaker top side. Oh. Not much going to come out of it, though. He's just going to walk away of the World Ender. And Steel Farm's just going back to farming. But bot side, that was a big chunk forced out. It looks like Unbreakable Will and Dawning Shadow were traded as there was potential all-in onto Moby White. And that will just set Team Swamp Donkey up for this second dragon of the game as they get the Hextech dragon. Put themselves 2-0 as the next dragon will hit the rift and we get our soul. It is going to be Chemtech. That's fun. Chemtech dragging up. We do have the maximum dosage popped as Steelfan's trying to run down. Lands that infected bone saws. The autos are coming out. Gets the grass proc. Misses the next infected bone saw. So big health advantage right now to Steelfan. Talmy just trying to make the best. Lands that darkened blade to get a chunk on the Steelfan and pop the canister. Does now about equal up the health. But look who's topside. It is Billy Willard. If Tommy wants to go for the all-in, Q is still on cooldown at the moment, but Billy is coming up. Steelfan does not know it. He's walking up, and in comes Billy behind him. There's the Pillar of Ice, forces out the Flash. Subjugate comes out. The Chomps are in. Flash comes out from Tommy, a bit over excessive. Doesn't end up getting anything on that, but he does still replicate with the assist. And that is the kill going to Billy Willard, and Tommy gaining the advantage topside.
Yeah, and Divine Sunderer just chomp. Big damage, big damage.
Yep. That Divine Sunderer alongside the Subjugate is just going to be tearing through Steelfan on this window. He is going for that Hearthsteel, so he will be stacking that max health. So he's going to become a big boy, but the percent max health is just going to chew through that late game.
Yeah, and the bright side for Team Swamp Donkey, their bot side is doing very well. It's head in CS, they have a kill on the Seraphine, but I never expected for Moby White and Future Witness to actually go aggressive. They're just trying to stay safe in this lane. Because you see the entire map is going very well. GVG #1 doing extremely well mid. Itami and Steelfan, they were basically trading blows. But the help from Billy Willard kind of swings this lane to Itami's hands for a little bit.
Exactly. First tower will fall down bot side to TDK, PBT, and Spiritless. as we did see Moby White rotate over to this Herald. Helix is going in, though, trying to get the steal. Flashed away by Billy Willard. The Requiem comes in, but a heal comes out in time for Billy. Steel Fam is the
Woo!
last man alive. He's
Oh,
able
there.
to take down Billy Willard, but he is next on the menu. That is 2 falling in Helix and Steel Fam, and the Herald goes to Team Solbert. That's 2 falling Swamp Donkeys to the 1 of Solbert, but the Herald also goes to Solbert. That is a clean advantage for them.
Yeah, it was definitely an outnumbered fight, and even though the Requiem was there, it doesn't have enough damage this early in the game, and just being outnumbered with a strong Vladimir already, it just was an easy win for Team Solbert. And using, on top of that, Tommy just picked up 2 kills, I believe. So
Tommy's going to be a problem here. And you mentioned, hey, you have a top laner that doesn't use mana. He's not going to want a blue buff. Well, he's taking one right now. But in the mid lane,
oh,
nice Sanguine Pool coming out of GVG to dodge out on that encore on the pull-in. Would have been dead otherwise, but GVG manages to live.
you know, that ability is very annoying to play against.
Just a little bit. Just
Especially if you're
completely
playing like a
everything.
Veigar and you try to trap a Vlad and Vlad just pulls out of.
Would you rather try and trap a Vlad with Sanguine Pool or a Fizz with Playful Trickster?
Probably a Fizz, because half the time they mess up.
That is a fair point.
It's not very hard to just run out when you have Sanguine Pool up.
Yep. And the Tommy with those double buffs now just farming it out top side. 30 CS lead, 3-0-1. Has the Herald in his inventory as well. Bringing back with some autos and the Darkened Blade. Steelfan gets his Heartsteel proc up.
Yeah,
God,
he's
that
actually
sound-
getting a lot of procs.
so satisfying whenever he just
Yeah.
bonks somebody.
Oh no, Moby White's is taking a beating right there.
Yeah, into that double range spot side. He's just having a rough time continually. Down to half health. Does have the Unbreakable Will available if he's ever in complete danger. But he's fine for now. Stepping up. Going in. Somehow, if Future Witness is here, and here is Billy as well. Moby White has popped that Unbreakable Will. There goes the Killer Instinct in the backline. But Spiritless and TDK are both just going to make it out. TDK forced to flash. Spiritless, though, goes for the Exhaust on to Future.
Yeah, and surprised actually Moby made it out of that with how much damage they're doing, but you know, that's the power of Unbreakable Will.
Absolutely. Such good resistance is coming off of that. Currently taking 55% reduced damage for 7 seconds whenever he pops that. Completely removes ACC on him. Just a great thing for him to have to make him a bit more tanky in that front line. Meanwhile, looking up top side, Steelfan doing his best to claw back in terms of that CS deficit, but Atami just chunking out. Steelfan runs in. There's the World Ender. Pop and the maximum dosage trying to walk away. There's one Darkened Blade.
He's
walks
fine.
away from the second, does not hit it. He is perfectly okay, but it looks like Atami wants this tower, has dropped the Herald.
Yeah,
And look who's topside as well. It is Billy Willard coming up to try and help. There's the Eclipse pop as a triple comes out of that Darkened Blade.
oh, they're gonna go behind.
Here comes
Steelfan.
Billy, pops the Subjugate, chomp, drops the Pillar of Ice to stop any escape. Q3 was going to take it off the Darkened Blade, but a chomp from Billy Willard does the job.
Yeah, and they're just bullying Steelfan at this point. And even though Steelfan is getting ridiculously tanky, the problem is going to be Tommy, Billy, and GVG number 1. And in the back end, Future Witness and Moby White haven't bled out bot lane, and they're able to keep a decent.
Pillar of Ice comes
no.
in here. Billy Willard's going in, but there's a lot more than he expected here.
Uh-oh.
There goes the Encore. There goes the Pillar of Ice, the Requiem cable over top, and Billy Willard falls. But they were able to grab a tier 2 as well topside, and this tier 1 mid. Yes, the side of Swamp Donkey was able to pick up that kill on Billy Willard, but big map advantages going over to Solbert as they picked up 3 towers during that time and are working on a 4th bot side.
Here's the thing, though. The dragons. The
Very
dang
much
dragons.
the dragons, yes.
This is gonna be it has to be a contest every time from Team Billy. One steal can turn this game extremely quickly. And just
We're really going to
give
have
it
to
to
keep our eyes
Swamp
out on
Donkey's hands.
Helix.
And not even a steal. If there's a pick before the fight starts, it will allow Team Swamp Donkey to get the soul.
Absolutely. That's all they really need. That could very much work to get them. in a much better position. Gold advantage right now, only 2.5K to the side of Team Solbert. But as we mentioned, this Chemtech Soul could be massive to the side of Team Swamp Donkey if they manage to pull. Right now, that is up in 3 minutes, so not for anybody's concern at the moment. Everybody just going back to doing their good old farming days.
And let's see how many stacks Spiritless has. He's been getting quite a bit. 86 at this point.
He's gonna hit quite hard.
Yeah, the problem is he gonna be safe enough? When you see this team, you know who your target is, and it's gonna be Spiritless and TDK because they're extremely squishy. They're gonna do a lot of damage, and you want them dead immediately. Karthus still has passive. You know, Karthus is gonna run in, press E, and
Speaking of Karthus, there goes GVG, pops the Ghost alongside the Hemoplague, going under the tower, pops the Transfusion to get the kill, and then Sanguine pulls right out of there. Solo kill for GVG.
Yeah, and that was an assassination.
Yeah, that was what Night Harvester will do with double needlessly large rods.
Yeah, once the the death cap is complete, that will be an extremely fast kill.
Absolutely, and they're working on getting this bot lane tier 1 right now. They also have Moby White in the area, and it looks like the side of Team Swamp Donkey is trying to respond here. They're pinging this top tower, and they're pinging onto Itami.
Oh, they're looking for this kill.
Coming out on him. World Ender is popped, but as is the maximum dosage, they are chasing him down right now. Spiritless trying to get these autos and chasing him down. Going in for the best. Itami tries to land those Dark Blades. There's too much there. The Dawning Shadow comes over top, a bit overkill, but in the end, he does fall. 4 members get that kill, and they're also going to take down this tier 1 turret topside.
Yep, good amount of gold going back to Team Rabbit. The unfortunate part, that did go to the Seraphine. You really want to see that go into...
Uh-oh, Senna's back in here. Flash in by GVG. He just popped. Tides of Blood Transfusion, and he is gone.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of greedy back, especially when this entire top side is dark. So you never know when you're going to get flashed on by Vladimir, and that's exactly what happened.
Absolutely. He just flashed on him and popped him. Vladimir does now have that death cap completed. GVG #1 is going to be a problem in these team fights.
And, you know, Chemtech is coming up shortly in about 40 seconds. That's going to be the play. That's going to be where we see a fight. And that could not only mean the soul for one team, it could mean the Baron for the other if it's a full wipe. It's 23 minutes in the game. You have a Kaisa on your team. If GVG #1 can land a massive
Billy Weaver, though, pops that Pillar of Ice. Steelfang gets pulled back in, chunked out, forced to flash away. Billy flashes in, though, has that lethal tempo stacked. Flag drag in is not going to hit anything. Encore goes wide. Nobody down, but a bunch of ultimates popped. 3 for the side of Team Solbert, 2 for the side. Sorry, only 1 for the side of Team Swamp Dog.
3. The World Ender and the Subjugate being popped is absolutely insane. This could... Oh, wow.
Billy's getting chunked right now.
Yeah.
And now, with that Senna building up the stack, Spiritless has such good range to clear out the vision with this Umbral Glaive whenever they hit it. Pandora putting down the wall of pain, trying to zone off. Billy Willward will drop the Pillar of Ice to try and walk away. But this is a 5v5 here. Atami is on the flank, though. Moby White goes in the back line, though. You see Atami shredding through. Future Witness popping everybody. Helix goes in, gets the knock up into the backline, use the catalysm to take down Billy Willard. Meanwhile, he's getting shredded, taken down by GVG, but in the backline, Itami is taken down as well. GVG still going in there, does not have the human play, trying to war on the way. Pops the stopwatch to dodge out on the Dawning Shadow. So in the end, Moby White trying to run away. Future Witness is the last man standing. There's still 4 people
that'll be Soul
on the side of Swamp Donkey. That is going to be the Dragon Soul going over to the side of Swamp Donkey.
Oh, that almost was very unfortunate because Pandora popped Requiem while he's still alive and he got immediately canceled.
Yeah, that could have been very bad, but it worked out in the end.
Yeah, even so, the gold lead might be in Team Solbert's hand, but the soul is in Team Swamp Donkey's hand.
You can't even say the gold lead's in their hand now.
It's not a
300. It's 200. It's 100.
It's 200. And then you have a soul. It's even. One team already.
It's even in a soul. So yeah, Team Swamp Donkey's in a very good position.
I forgot how much gold values in the soul. But
A lot.
I, it's what, at least 10K? No,
I
seven and
don't
a half.
think I thought it was like 1,000 gold per player. I could be wrong. Let me see if I can find it.
1,000 gold per player?
I could be completely
Like
wrong.
a soul, or
Yes, the soul.
just all? And each dragon. Are you talking about with the dragon, or just a soul by itself? Or
Let me see. I will let you know as I'm finding at the moment.
but still, that was a very important team fight that Swamp Donkey won, able to get the soul, and you know, if your team's Soulbur, you gotta be careful now, because not only are you scared of the soul, the Mundo's still scaling up and it's becoming a massive tank. You have Senna that has 114 stacks. You have a Karthus that will still do a ton of damage with that Leandries. So it's gonna get dangerous.
Absolutely. It's just massive here. And Steelfin will continue to stack up this HP from the Heart Steel. And we see Itami trying his best to trade back, but honestly, Steelfin's at this point where it's just so hard to trade with him. And looking at it,
The crazy thing is this mid lane turret's still up, and they have soul point. So,
yeah.
Or they have soul, sorry. So they're able to get that free gold, and you know this gold is gonna grow pretty drastically, especially if a couple of picks that's gonna result in a Baron, and this game is 100% Team Swamp Donkey's hands.
Absolutely. And I believe you were right. It comes to about 1,000 or 2,000 gold per player based on the type of soul it is. I don't know the number for Chemtech, so probably around an overall value of about 10K.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is this game did take a just complete 180.
Absolutely.
Right?
This game looks so close right now until you look at the fact that soul is completed for nothing. Really, the next big thing on the map, Baron is up, but in 3.5 minutes, the fact that an Elder Dragon will hit the Rift is massive.
Will hit the Rift? Oh wait.
Able to get out of it. Moby White, though, gets rooted here, and Spiritless is chunking right now. Has so much range and damage available. GVG actually in trouble here. Gets hit by the Flag Drag knockup, forced to flash away. Does escape. But we've gotten to the point where this Spiritless TDK bot lane is a massive problem. Spiritless is just running down Billy right now. Hits the blast cone to send him away. Moby White tries to knock away and proc the Glacial. Has to pop the Unbreakable Will. Does live thanks to that damage reduction. Requiem did come out to try and end it, but the damage reduction is enough. Itami and Steelfan trading back and forth. The World Ender is popped, trying to chase down. Meanwhile, topside, Helix has gotten onto Billy Wailer, but has popped the Subjugate Billy did, and into the Cataclysm. Billy's trying to heal back off these autos, but it is not enough. He will fall, which screams Baron for Team Swamp Donkey. Steelfan and Itami trading back and forth. Steelfan running him down with that max.
There's no World Ender.
Has the Heart Zapper going. Autos coming back and forth, landing these infected bone cells. Itami's trying to run for his life. Throwing at the Darkened Blades is not going to do a damn thing against this Dr. Mundo because he will go where he pleases. He's running them down, and the infected Bone Saw will take him down, as the Baron is also taken by Team
Baron's
Swamp
taken
Donkey.
in 2 minutes as sold. I think this is game, to be completely honest. I think what's gonna happen is that there's gonna be a fight on the Elder, and basically whoever team if Team Swamp Donkey wins, it's just gonna be game right there. They're just gonna push with Baron, and they should be able to close this out. It's about 30 minutes, 29 minutes in the game.
Absolutely. It's
pretty
crazy in the fact that this game feels so close to an end when only one tier 2 tower has been taken this entire game.
Oh,
but it
100%.
feels like we're like one fight away from this game completely.
And that's what happened when I didn't even realize it had like a little bit into the game where the dragon was taken on spawn every time, and it all went to Swamp Donkey.
Swamp Donkey has had such good objective control. And that's just proved beneficial for them this entire time, and kind of been what put them in such a beneficial place. And now looking at it, ultimates are up for everybody across the board. Maximum dosage is about to come off cooldown, so it is, everything's available. And Elder's in 40 seconds.
Elder's in 40 seconds. It looks like the mid priority is going to go over to Team Swamp Donkey, and obviously that's because of Baron. But look what's happening. Billy
They're just
and
shoving mid.
yeah,
The
Moby
flank,
have like
though,
a kind of
there's
like a
the pillar of
flank.
ice. Billy's trying to get in, lands on a helix, but gets rooted by that last embrace. Flashing by Moby White, gets the knockup onto 2. Billy Willard trying to auto back, but there comes the beat drop
Oh,
over the
that
top
Kai's
and
really
massive damage
exploded.
coming down along with the last embrace. Here comes the Requiem as
I
it
think this
jumps.
is game right
Cataclysm
here.
comes in. Who needs the Elder when you're just going to win a 5v5 team fight? GVG's the last man standing. He's trying to run away. Pops into his Zanya. You are surrounded, my friend. You can sanguine pull all you like. He will fall in the end as Mundo knocks him down with the blunt force trauma. 5-0. Who needs an Elder when you can take the base? Team Swamp Donkey is going to take it in the end.
Yeah, that was a game and a half. That was well played by Swamp Donkey, making sure that the objectives go to them, specifically the Dragons. They basically put Team Solbert on a make or break type plays, especially on that last
Absolutely.
dragon, right? And the fight went over to Team Swamp Donkey. It's mostly because Team Solbert was kind of forced to try to get in there, try to make a play, try to make sure they secure it. And just because of that, Swamp Donkey was able to get a soul very early on. Any goal lead is just totally gone at that point, and it felt just unwinnable after. Even when you have a super fed Vlad, when a soul's given to a team at 25 minutes, or I don't even know how long it was. I think it was 25 minutes. It just it's a lot of gold. It's a lot of gold value. We already saw it was like 1 to 2K gold per player.
Absolutely, and just overall well played by Team Swamp Donkey. Usually, when I look for an MVP, it's okay, which player did the best? I can't give an MVP because I don't know who the shot caller for this team was because their objective control was flawless. They played it so well, and that gave them such an advantage in this game. Getting those dragons on spawn just ended up working out so well for them. But overall, I really got to give credit to Spiritless and TDK down bot side. That Senna Seraphine became such a menace for the side of Team Solbert to have to deal with.
You know what's absurd? That Mundo had the highest damage in the game.
Yeah, what is that? Mundo and Aatrox are the two highest because they were just smacking each other the entire game. GVG.
Well, fortunately, my team is about to draft. So,
all right, you got to bounce. All right. Well, while he goes to do that, we're going to get our next lobby set up. We are going to see Team Swamp Donkey again as they take on the team of the man they just played, Mr. Billy Willard. And also, for anybody wondering, good news is Batman is back for Team Solbert. He will be continuing to play. Everything's all right on their end, so happy endings all around. So next up, we're going to have Team Billy take on Team Swamp Donkey when we come back from this break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our final game of the day here at day 1 of Gold Scouting Grounds for BOL. Right now, we are once again seeing Rabid Swamp Donkeys taking on, this time, Team Billy. Rabid Swamp Donkeys, we just saw pick up their first win, currently sit at 1-1, whereas Team Billy is unfortunately 0-2 at the moment. But we are hopping right into draft. Team Billy, seeing what happened last time when TDK got their hands on that Seraphine, deciding let's not have that happening, and they banned it away. Whereas Rabid taking away the Sejuani, a good flex pick between Royal and Singular Bread, and even Yoked a little bit. And there goes the Mundo as well. Billy just saw how oppressive it was to play against when Steelfan had it. They're saying, let's not have this happen. This thing is unstoppable. He can go wherever he wants. He can just stack HP like no one cares. And Rabid's response is a Malzahar ban, something targeted more in the mid lane towards Finch. As Malzahar, really that knife-safe mid laner who can clear waves easily and set up ganks with that ulti very nicely. We'll have to see where things continue to go, as a lot of strong picks that we've seen really still on the board here. We'll have to see if bans are still targeted at certain players. There goes the Twitch, again being targeted at Pandorum mid, as well as Spiritless down at 80 carry. It is a flex mid and bot, and that's taken off the table. One more ban is left to target against Team Billy, and we'll have to see what comes out in that direction. Really, it'll be interesting to see what both teams end up pivoting to, as that major strategy that Rabid's team ran with last time with the Seraphine Senna is already off the board thanks to both the Mundo and Seraphine being removed. Rabid Swamp Donkey, though, decides to remove the Misfortune, to take away an 80 carry out of Arcs Knight's pool. And we're going to see a B1 pick here, very flexible. I'd expect to personally see something as an 80 carry here, maybe something like a Varus, or they could possibly head down the jungle route, something as flexible as a Maokai. We'll have to wait and see, though, depending on what Billy's squad wants to pick up here. They're letting the time run down. It's going to be the Ezreal, a knife-safe 80 carry for Arcs Knight down in the bot lane. Means that Yoked, if he is on something aggressive, is free to roam without having to worry about Arcs as much, as that Arcane Shift is always a nice safety to have. Basically a free flash available, and really being able to clear out from range with those Mystic shots. It'll be interesting to see what Rabid's response is here. I'd expect Billy later to possibly grab an Enchanter to pair with that, like the Karma, but Rabid, meanwhile, grabbing the Scion. Now, normally you'd expect something like this to just head top lane to Steelfan, but this is flexible, as I have personally seen Pandorum play this on a few occasions. My bet right now, though, is that this is for Steelfan, and there's the Jarvan that Helix piloted to success last time, with a lot of solid objective. So we already have a beefy front line with a strong ganking jungler, the exact same recipe that Rabid started it off with last time. We'll have to see what else he pairs this with, as the Senna and Karthus are still available from last time, but I don't expect to see those two pop their heads out again. We'll have to see, though, as Billy's team, now on, picks up the Mordekaiser. This has become a very strong pick, now a jungler more so than a top laner, but has prio in both lanes wherever he ends up. Really has had such a strong clear, no matter how many times they've nerfed him. Was strong last season, but became even better with the new items, especially something like Jack Show. We'll have to see if that's the route that Singular Bread takes, or if this is heading up to the hands of TSF Royal. Second pick of the phase, third of this round, and last before Billy has to head into bans, is going to be the Volibear. That is likely heading for Singular Bread, meaning this Mordekaiser is expecting to go up to TSF Royal. So a really strong ganking jungler here in Volibear can really just, with that movement speed off his Q, catch anybody down. Having the Wrecker effect on his ultimate allows him to dive whoever he wants so easily. But right now, I don't think you're going to want to dive a Scion. So let's see exactly where they may end up putting their focus, depending on how the rest of this draft plays out. And there is the Karma that I personally wanted to see Team Billy pick up. But now bot lane prio goes very nicely in Rabid's direction, as Karma provides nice poke, nice wave clear, and all that. And now they start to target out the support. They take away the Thresh that Yoked has played quite a bit of and found success with, as they try and pinch down this pool, possibly sending him down to something that is not as comfortable. Meanwhile, Billy decides that they're going to target Spiritless on the 80 carry pool. They take away they take away Caitlyn, who could be very oppressive in the laning phase. Having that extra range paired with something like Karma, it's a very difficult lane to handle, especially for someone like Ezreal who can lack a bit of wave clear at times. A Caitlyn Karma can very much keep you perma-shoved under tower. Rabbit's next ban, though, is going to be the Vex, targeting that mid lane of Finch, trying to take away a nice, safe mage that brings a lot of damage to the table, but is also very wave clear focused and has great clear, especially into something with a decent chunk of mobility. So with that ban, we might be looking at something more mobile coming in the mid lane for Pandorum if they're worried about banning out something that deals with dashes like that. Meanwhile, though, Billy now up, going with the Victor ban, another target at TD Pandorum. So we still need our AD carry and our mid laner, or possibly top laner, to come in here. I'd expect personally to see the AD carry come in now, as you know you're into the Ezreal and you're paired up with the Karma. You could possibly see a hyper carry like the Jinx, like the Sivir, or something like that. Maybe even go double poke with a Karma Varus. That's what I'm personally partial to. We'll have to wait and see, though, as it is going to be locked in here. Theoretically, this should be the AD carry pick, leaving flexibility available for mid laner. It's going to be the Kassadin blind pick, actually, for Pandorum. Kassadin, of course, very much in a strong place right now. The buff to his Force Pulse of the E very much helped him when it was gaining resets due to abilities cast around it. And also the recent buffs to Rod of Ages alongside Seraphs puts Kassadin in such a strong pick right now. But it's very dangerous picking it here, as Finch has not yet picked and can very much pick something more AD focused into it if he wants. And speaking of AD focus, there's the Akshan to counter the Kassadin, focusing more on an AD mid laner than something AP focused, while Yoked will pick up the Blitzcrank, looking for a bit of pick focus that goes alongside this roaming potential that having the Ezreal allows. With an Akshan and a Blitzcrank, expect to be seeing a lot of movement around this map, but the response in the end, Spiritless is pulling out the Vayne. A good tank shredder, so really going to be doing well into something like that, into that Volibear, as well as that Mordekaiser are going to be trying to dance around and shred with those silver bolts. And Karma going to be able to help in lane phase a bit. Her mantra shields are going to be able to keep Vayne a bit healthier into this Ezreal poke, and hopefully with the tumbles, Spiritless is able to dodge out on a lot of these Blitzcrank hooks. That's really what we're going to be looking for here. The Blitzcrank can allow Yoked to play a bit more aggressive, whereas the Karma Vayne might want to scale a bit more. Yes, Karma has good lane potential, but Vayne really well is scaling. Same thing with the Kassadin. Same thing with the Scion, really. They have a lot of good late game scaling on the side of Rabid Swamp Donkeys, whereas Billy, with this Volibear, and even this Mordekaiser a little bit, has a good early bit of prio, and Blitzcrank has good early pick potential, early fight potential, and catch potential to really try and get themselves snowballing, try and get Mordekaiser some extra items, get Finch some extra items on that Akshan, get Ezreal for Arcs Knight some extra items, and kind of put themselves in stronger positions to carry the fight as it comes later. As if you are even into Rabid's team, you're actually behind because of how well some of these picks like the Kassadin and the Vayne scale. I personally expect to see Billy's squad try and punish the Kassadin a bit early with Volibear ganks mid, possibly a Blitzcrank roam. So I think Pandorum's really going to have to be on his feet here, whereas Billy's squad may try and look also to punish the Kassadin or the Vayne. Whereas Rabid, with this J4, his main target may try and be getting this Vayne or Kassadin rolling. But Ezreal's not the easiest to pick, so if I'm Finch, I have my eyes peeled to see if I ever see a J4 coming through the jungle. But with that, we have finished draft. We're heading into the client draft right now. Then we are going to hit our spectator delay, and when that is done, we are going to come back with our final game of the day as Team Billy takes on Rabid Swamp Donkeys.
Did you say Team Billy?
Yeah, Team Billy.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was a coach.
He is indeed a coach.
And he's playing, but
not playing anymore. Batman is back, luckily.
Batman's back, thank God. I hope.
Well, actually, before we throw now, Bully, take a look at our drafts. What do you think?
I'm looking. All right.
Bully had better things to do, apparently, like, drafting for his team. God, imagine being a
No.
coach.
I actually had to take my dog out.
All right, you already drafted for your team.
Yeah.
How dare you take care of an animal?
I actually didn't draft. I watched him draft.
Okay. That's the best coaching.
Third one. I gave full confidence in them, and they just take home the dub, hopefully. and we'll see him next or on Saturday. But ooh, it's an interesting team comp we got here. So as a Blitzcrank player myself, I love playing with Ezreal. Why? Because I literally could roam. I could be
You
out of
could
that lane
leave
at
him
5
alone on
minutes.
an island.
At 5 minutes, I'm gone. I'm playing secondary jungle, and I'm looking to cause havoc everywhere else. Um, so that's obvious. Karma, very very annoying in lane, and that's honestly a hard matchup for Blitzcrank if you end up missing your hooks because the amount of poke, amount of like control she has, especially because her E gives you a little bit of movement speed, and it makes it even harder to hit a hook. Mordekaiser, is that a Mordekaiser jungle? Or is that a Mordekaiser top?
I want to say it's a Mordekaiser top with a Volibear jungle. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see. But honestly, this is gonna be an exciting game. Obviously, Rabbit's team is gonna scale pretty heavily with the Cassidy and Vayne and even Scion. It's gonna be annoying, but the early power definitely goes in the hands of Team Billy.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're thinking. I think Billy's team really needs to snowball and get ahead of Rabbit's squad if they want to do anything. But looking at how things are playing out and how we've seen these teams perform, I personally think this is going to go Rabbit's team's way. I like what they have with the late game insurance policies, and I think Karma is such an impressive champion when played well. I personally like what the side of Rabbit has going.
You know, I would agree with that. I like it's always a good feeling to know that you have the late game power, and if you don't int early on, that you'll be totally fine. But the thing I do see that might be a problem, right? Action getting ahead, annoying. Mordekaiser getting ahead can literally 1v2
Problematic.
because it becomes a 1v1 and then another 1v1. But the great thing is that Vayne should easily be able to kill the Mordekaiser in his own death realm, and it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem for Mordekaiser to kill a lot of people because if they try to take Cassidy is gonna rift walk all over the place and be like, "I'm sorry, Mordekaiser, you can't catch me."
Bye.
Like a little peekaboo. So I agree with you. Swamp Donkey team. Is it Team Billy? I'm mixing them up.
Swamp Donkey has the Cassidy and Vayne Scion.
Swamp Donkey's team, I like a little bit more. As long as they hold down into an early game, if they don't get hooked by Blitzcrank, it as a Blitzcrank player myself, it doesn't give you a lot of value besides the picks. It's not like it's an enchanter or give you a lot of plays. You have to hit your hooks. If you don't hit your hooks, you're basically a useless robot.
Absolutely. That's all. Basically, if you can hit your hooks on Blitzcrank, you're a good Blitzcrank. Otherwise, you're not going to do much.
Yeah. The worst part about playing Blitzcrank in solo queue is that if you miss a hook, right, you get flamed. Like, it's an easy hook, you get flamed. You might be the best Blitzcrank player in one game, but the first hook you miss, you just get pinged off the bat.
It doesn't matter if you hit 20 in a row, you miss one, you're done.
Not even just 20 in a row. You miss the first one, that's the easy one, you get flamed.
Absolutely. Well, with that, though, we're just going to head into a little bit of a spectator delay before we get everything set up on our end. But we will be back very soon with our final game of the day.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for our final game of the day, and we already have action early, it looks like. As Team Billy is stacked up here, they do have Yoked on the Blitzcrank. They're going to be looking early, but they are spotted out by a nice early ward from Helix. There's a
Oh, that's
monster.
money in the bank.
Yeah, monster going over the wall,
That's 20
smacking him
gold.
down, getting some nice gold.
That
That's
was
a
20
free.
gold.
That's a free 20 gold. The game's over. Go next.
Game's over. That's a gold lead. But honestly,
Absolutely.
you're a Blitzcrank player. You know that they're gonna invade. The thing about playing Blitzcrank is you got to be unpredictable when you're invading. Of course, you're gonna invade, but you need to invade in a way that the other team doesn't expect.
You
In
mean
that
don't run
bush
5 people through mid?
is expected. If you actually no, honestly, if you want to run mid and flash immediately on Blitzcrank to try to get the flash of the enemy mid laner, 100% worth. 100% worth.
Fair enough. But it is also a bit risky, but going for that safe play did not end up working out for him. Something to note, Royal not running the flash has that ghost TP, whereas Steelfan does have that flash available if he ever wants to flash.
He's gonna try to make sure he runs people down in the Shadow Realm. Ooh.
Meanwhile, though, Steelfan getting some nice chunks with these decimating smashes and just chunking out Royal already.
Like obviously this early game should be going. Oh,
Goes wide.
Yoked.
0 for 1. Time for the flame to
1.
begin. And there's the emote. Already
But
started.
obviously it's gonna go very well for the side of Team Billy, mainly because it's an Akshan versus a Kassadin, melee versus range. Top side is a Mordekaiser versus a Scion. Bot side, a lot of poke, a lot of actually bot side is a little bit more even, but it still can go in actually either side actually. It just depends how Spiritless
It's 80
plays.
carry poke versus support poke.
Yeah, if Spiritless walks into a hook, then it's a problem. But if they're
Spiritless
able
gets hit
to,
by a hook, they're in trouble.
yeah. The one downside of playing Ezreal in Blitzcrank is the fact that the wave clear is very, very slow. So it makes it easier for your enemy. Oh, no.
Finch invading here almost as a kill onto Helix,
Yeah.
using those double shot passive autos to his advantage quite well.
Yeah, that's very big, especially because that makes Helix have to back. The red is still up. That's going to delay his full clear.
Yeah, that's
And he actually went for a full clear.
clear.
Yeah.
Whereas
give...
right now we see Singular Bread already finishing his, only as his Wolves yet. Looks like he may just skip it and go for the Scuttlecraft.
Yeah, and... Oh, that's a hook.
Comes in, lands onto Spiritless. There's the Arcane Shift and forces out the Exhaust. Yoke trying to run it down. Flash
Oh
away.
no!
Flash's Arcsight unfortunately hits the Mystic Shot onto a minion. Not able to take down Spiritless. That is 3 sums for 3 sums in the end. And both 80 carries a bit low on health.
A little bit hypey. Arcs just popped a health potion, so they should be fine. I think Arcs thought they could get the kill. Didn't
Singular
realize
Bread, though, going for the invade.
No!
Helix has his buff already. Does secure, but Singular Bread's just trying to walk him down. Flash over the wall. Flash follow. There's the slow coming out from the Golden Aegis. And the flag drag away is enough. Flash for flash on the junglers traded. Singular Bread not able to get anything. If he's there a second earlier, he might be able to smite steal on that buff and get the kill.
Helix is just getting bullied in his own jungle. First by Finch, and then next by Singular Bread. Fortunately for Helix, he was able to secure that red buff before he got invaded.
If he doesn't secure that buff, he's in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Because I think that gave him level 3.
It did.
Yeah.
Which let him get the slow from his Golden Aegis on the shield, which is the only reason he really got away to begin with. But look at him. He's right back topside going back to farm. He's like, I haven't been able to touch this in 5 minutes. I'm getting it now.
He really wants that gold. And right now, it's still 100 gold lead. Basically nothing. A big mini wave is stacking bot side. A lot of plays coming out from Team Billy. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get that kill onto Helix yet, which makes this game a lot easier. And interestingly enough, like topside is actually going in Sion's favor with a slight CS lead.
Yeah, Steelfan's been able to play this very well, just getting some good decimating smashes off, and able to not trade too much with Royal, which lets him just keep the wave and his health, which means he can take these trades, which usually would very much favor Royal on this Mordekaiser being a manaless champion, but instead, he's doing just fine. Just TP'd back, finishes that Crystalline Bracer, working towards but mid lane,
Oh, Finch is gonna go for the kill right here.
Dorm flashes away. Yoke, meanwhile, in the mid lane, there's a flag drag from Helix. Dragon is taken, meanwhile, by Bread.
He's so low!
TDK is running for his life. Finch is still looking for it. Event Drag comes in, there's the repeat coming back.
Oh,
and everybody's low, but nobody is dead at the moment. Barely.
Yoke is so low.
Yoke is so low. Pandorum was so low. TDK was so low. Finch is staying, though. There's Pando. He has 6 now. Finch chunks him out. Does Finch get aggro?
Nah.
Nah, he's not going for it.
The unfortunate thing about Action's
Wait a second.
Oh.
There's the Avenger Egg to interrupt.
He's
going for the comeuppance! Get behind the tower!
Wait.
What?
Oh, it's because it's the second tower!
The second tower! It doesn't have a hitbox! You and I were both so confused for a second.
Yeah, then I realized it was a second tower. He had to stay behind the first one
if
he wanted to survive.
Well played by Finch. The comeuppance kill on Pandorum for the first of the game. Well played. Royal pulling Steel Fan under tower. And Blitz cranks down here. Yoke gets to the Power Fist knockup. Rocket grab back into the Glacier.
Fearless does not have
has to go for the final hour down in. But there's already spiritual bread down. Singular bread down there. Spiritless is down. Kill going over to Arc's Knight.
Yeah, this definitely needed to happen where they got a slight lead in mid and bot. That was a good play by Yoked, making the play on Spiritless, and great backup by Singular Bread, knowing that the possibility of Spiritless getting a trade kill is a real possibility.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Royal's just handling this wave and doing his best to just... He sees the rest of his map winning. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to farm, and that's all I'm going to do right now.
And
that's all you need to do.
decides first item is going to be a Warden's Veil.
Interesting. So, this may be a Frozen Heart rush.
It's going to be a Frozen Heart, which means that Pandorum isn't going to have a lot of damage early. Doesn't have a lot of mana regen early.
Pandorum probably runs into a Blitzcrank early. There's the Rocket Fist, able to sidestep it with a Rift Walk.
Oh, wow. Helix goes in. Wait a minute. You can't do that, Helix.
Out. There's the... Gets chunked out overall. TDK's in trouble now. Gets chunked out as well. Singular Bread autos them down. Spiritless next on the list. Rocket grab back in. Comeuppance off the heroic thing. Arc's Knight takes it. That is 3 kills down bot side. Finch just sliding by while he takes the kill.
Yeah, and this is exactly what needs to happen for Team Billy. Getting this early advantage and hopefully snowballing that for them to negate any kind of late game potential Rabbids team has.
Absolutely. Pandorum really in a rough spot. Luckily does have 6 now, which makes his life a little bit easier. But anytime you're into an AD matchup like this, it's really rough. And Finch has been playing this really well, able to get those kills on the Pandorum and also get some nice roams off, especially to that bottom fight. And trying to taking 1 tower plate. He's looking for a second one right here, forcing Pandorum off this tower.
Yeah, and that's going to be a plate. So, right now, a 3.7k gold lead. But we've seen this before, right?
We've very much seen this before. The only difference is this time, Team Billy has the dragon.
That's true.
Not too much action happening at the moment. We see Arc's Knight working towards that Trinity Force. Finch likely going towards that Kraken Slayer. And yeah, Pandorum picks up the Glacial Buckler, working towards what is going to be a Frozen Heart.
Oh no, Helix
is on Helix again. Finch is on Helix, and look, dude's here yoked.
You know what's unfortunate in that part?
Flash.
Unfortunately, Finch didn't have ultimate, the comeuppance. And so
there's
the kill wouldn't happen.
True Shot Braz, though. Arc's just clearing out this wave, trying to save his tower a little bit. Meanwhile, in comes the unstoppable onslaught up top to get Steel Fan back to lane, back to farming. Spiritless going aggressive, though. Has a lot of damage coming in, but luckily Yoked is back here in the bot lane, meaning this is now a 2v2 again, and Arcs can feel a little bit safer.
Yeah, Steelfan is actually doing extremely well in this matchup up top.
He is. He's playing this very well. Able to stay even in CS, stay even in these health trades, actually win some of them out. Bot side, Yoked has returned, meaning that Arcs can step up with this wave and shove it in a little bit. But look who's hovering bot side. It is Helix.
Yeah. 4K gold lead. Dragon is coming up, and you would 100% expect the team side of Team Billy to try to take this immediately.
Absolutely. And Herald just dropped mid by Singular Bread. They secure tier 1 tower mid as first tower of the game, giving Singular Bread a nice chunk of money and also forcing Pandorum to catch that mid wave as it's crashing into the tier 2. Meaning that with the bot lane prio, Arcs and Yoke just gained by rotating down, they're able to rotate over this dragon and take it uncontested to their second dragon of the game. But Finch is going in. There's a big heroic swing under tower. He's a tower.
He's in there. He's near the tier 2, and Helix is looking for blood
Helix
right
is
here.
Right out, flashes the Cataclysm.
Oh, Helix is gonna die.
Here's the Ignite, able to take down Helix. Jump in with the Stormbringer under tower. Bread turns off the tower.
Bread is so
Bingo.
low. One for honor. There it is.
Diving in with the flash, able to treat it back
Fearless.
onto Bread. Dodging the Mystic shots, though. Lives. Spearless manages to make it out as his Arc Knight. Steelfin, though, chunking out Royal. Royal just running as fast as he can. Meanwhile, Finch continuing to shove this mid lane.
Yeah, great play by Finch. Able to 1v2 that very easily. Up 32 golds. Beating on the tier 2 mid tower. And it's, wow.
Just absolutely smacking people. Does have that Kraken Slayer finished, which is very nice. And it looks like he's not done. He's not done bullying Helix. Oh, hold on. Royal has to pop the Ghost Ears. He's trying to run away. Is able to escape. Now, Flash followed by Steelfan, but it looks like Royal is just able to walk it out. Flag drag in. Finch is able to sidestep it. Does get hit by that inner flame by TDK. Not much going to come of it, though.
Wow.
A lot of
action going on.
Into not much. And there's Singular Bread just trying to catch this top wave as Royal does not have access to that teleport. But Royal has now finished the Rift Maker. We see the Kraken Slayer done on Finch and the Trinity Force. But TDK has found Finch, or should I say Finch has found TDK, and he's going to get out as the pillar from the Mountain Rift is stopping the heroic swing. TDK lives with a sliver of health. Come up, it's just barely not on cooldown.
Yeah, and oddly enough, the amount. Oh, well, not oddly.
Oh,
Yoke is trying to go for blood.
Yoke's just rotating. He just finds Helix taking his buff. Yoke's fighting him. This is a support versus jungler. Yoke doesn't care. He is going to walk away, though. No supportal combat right now.
You know, if Yoke actually had Ignite, that would have been a kill.
Yeah, you might have gotten that. There's a pull in by Royal. We see the Heartsteel prop. Auto's coming back and forth. There's the Realm of Death pop. Channeling in the Decimating Smash. Steelfan gets it. Royal, though, just melting Steelfan thanks to this Darkness Rise passive. Just melting, pulls him in with the Death's Grasp, and Auto comes out. There's the Obliterate, just able to chunk him out and going to force him back. Great position for Royal to be in right now. TDK just trying to clear vision around this dragon. Royal, though, does not want to let Steelfan back. Steelfan has to pop that Soul Furnace to get the extra shield and the Roar of the Slayer to knock back some minions.
Yeah, and whew. Exciting game, and we are gonna have more exciting things happen when in 2 minutes next dragon's gonna come up, and looks like Singular Bread and Yoked are actually spot on.
They're not done yet. There's Arcs also.
Yeah.
They want this. They say, this tower doesn't matter. We have a Volibear who can just turn it off with the Stormbringer. They want blood. They're getting themselves ready for this dragon, as you mentioned, in a minute and a half.
Yeah,
Finch continuing to shove mid.
If you noticed,
nobody can respond.
That forced the
Hold on, here comes the unstoppable onslaught right into Royal. Decimating Smash completely charged. Auto's coming out with the Soul Furnace. There's the slow coming out. In comes another Decimating Smash. Gets the knockup, trying to continue chasing him down, getting him some grasp procs. But there's a slow again. In comes another Decimating Smash. Knocks him up, but he's under tower, so we can just walk it off.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Singular Bread is just stealing Helix's jungle. And Yoked
Yeah.
is there to back him up when Helix makes the unfortunate discovery.
Yeah, with all of that, Steel Fan unfortunately couldn't get the kill, and mid lane tier
Meanwhile,
2 goes
Finch
down.
just takes the mid lane tier 2. And Yoked and Helix, 2 ships passing in the night, gonna leave each other alone. But Finch says he wants blood. He's going for Helix, and he has found him. There's the Avenger and
Oh
flag
my
drag over.
gosh.
Short little heroic swing, not gonna get anything. Comeuppance coming in though, is blocked. Royal pops that Realm of Death trying to zone out Steel Fan.
Wait a
Honestly,
minute. Steel
this is a 1v1 I don't think he does too well.
Steel
Yoked is here, Finch is here. They're continuing to chase him down.
The
Pops the
hook
off,
was
gonna
predicted in
walk
the opposite
out
way.
though. Steel Fan is alive.
Big thing here, though. Oh, big thing here is the dragon is coming up right now. You saw the entire team basically topside. If the whole team was set up ready for it, they could have went for this dragon and denied a sole opportunity early on. And Finch and Royal are still up here just trying to get the tower. Finch doesn't have TP, he has Ignite, and Royal doesn't have TP. So this should be a very contestable dragon for Team Solberg.
Absolutely. Singular
Wait,
Bread is in
did I
the
say
area,
Solberg?
but he's alone
I mean
with
Team Rabbit.
4 of them. He
Donkey.
needs to leave yesterday. But yeah, it looks like they're completely fine just giving this dragon.
Yeah.
Have 2 members topside pushing into Steel Fan. We saw Arcs Knight and Yoke just take a back. Steel Fan pulled in by that Death's Grasp, and Otto's trading out with the Avengerang. And just trading. There's the unstoppable onslaught.
Oh, wait!
On Royal. And Royal falls! It's actually a 1-for-1 trade.
1-for-1.
And Singular Bread is trying to steal this?
He's gonna steal it! He stole it!
Steals it! And just
He was just allowed to walk.
Stormbringer's over the wall, says yoink, thanks, that's mine, and just jumps out of the pit like it's no big deal. But looks like Yoked wants more. He's coming around with Arcs, gonna walk it off though. Meanwhile, topside, Steel Fan and Royal both do fall, but Finch is still there just pushing. And what should have been at least something Swamp Donkey's squad could trade for becomes a disaster as Billy's squad picks up the top lane tower and the dragon, thanks to a nice smite by Singular Bread.
Wow. Simply amazing.
Yeah. Surprised that situation came about. It looked like they were perfectly okay just giving it, but Singular Bread said, I'm going to see if I can do something. I have a way to get out of the pit, but I'm going in.
And, you know, a big thing here is not just because they have 3 dragons. They have a 8.6k gold lead on top of that.
Mid,
18
comes
minutes.
in, just hits a minion. Singular Bread, though, going deep into the jungle. He's not done yet. We have 4 members stacked up here mid. They're looking to siege onto this inhibitor tower, actually, but Steel Fan is rotating down. And Akshan is not here. Yoke flashes in. It's the rocket grab, but Unstoppable Force comes in by Steel Fan. There's a big Realm of Death, but there's the Cataclysm on it too. Yoked and Arch Knight are instantly down. And in the Realm of Death, Royal will pop out into the middle of 5 of them and meet his fate as well. He will fall as Spiritless picks up another kill. 3 for nothing going the way of Swamp Donkey squad. But Finch is here. Finch is here. Heroic swing in. Gets the autos. Gets a revive on to Royal, but he falls as himself falls to Pandorum on the Kassadin. 1 for 1 gets the revive, but gives a shutdown over to Kassadin.
Yeah, I don't think that was worth it at all. It was a little bit too aggressive a play by Yoked, and they just got absolutely collapsed on. And sure, Finch does take a kill, but in return gives a massive shutdown to a late game threat like Kassadin. Come on, can't do that.
And with that, we just saw Kassadin picked up his Rod of Ages. So he is now slowly scaling even more. But looks like we're not done here. Ghost coming out of Royal. Singular Bread with that Thundering Smash looking to chase down Steel Fan. There comes the Sky Splitter, pulled back by the Death Grasp. And Yoked is in the area as well.
Oh, I don't think you want that Helix. That's going to be dangerous.
Coming in. Stormbringer onto the top, pulled back in by that rocket grab, but it looks like Arcs will fall as well. Steel Fan's body doing a bit. Royal trying to run away, but he does get slowed by the Karma's Inner Flame into some nice autos by the Vayne off for tumble. And the Rift Herald, which was dropped topside, will fall. And that is a 2 for 2, I believe, in terms of trade. Yep, 2 for 2.
Yeah, 2 for 2. Oh, Finch
Well,
actually
Finch is
wants to
here.
make that.
Finch doesn't
Oh,
want a 2 for 2.
brings back
Finch gets
Royal.
a kill on a TDK, gets the revive onto Royal, and Finch isn't done. He's chasing Spiritless, but he gets condemned against a wall. Yoke gets the pull, goes wide. Finch will fall. The Spiritless Pandorum is in the area. Spiritless is trying to run away from Singular Bread, but able to dodge around with that tumble, getting those silver bolt procs. Pandorum in the area as well is enough to help Spiritless take down Singular Bread, as that is a 2 for 1 going the way of Swamp Donkey Squad.
Yeah, and that's a bonus of 150 gold going over to Spiritless. It's it's a little bit of a over aggressive gameplay. Yes, the gold lead is still there. Yes, the ability to get the soul is still there, but more mistakes like that can look what we have here.
And with that, knowing that Finch, the strongest member of Team Billy, is down, it seems like Team Swamp Donkey is just gonna head straight for. Never mind, they're off the Baron.
Yeah, they were like, this probably is a bad idea.
And Dragon's in 40 seconds, and that's kind of their soul. So let's not risk it right now. Felix is just going to clear these Raptors, take himself a reset, possibly. 30 seconds up on the clock. Finishes his smite item. Very important. Now he has the 1200 smite to match. Yoked and Steel Fan already in the area, getting some vision. But Singular Bread and Finch are also here. Yoked going right under the field.
Oh!
Gets the Power Fist knockup. Rocket grab back with the Glacial Augment slow. Spirit, Singular Bread autoing him down, has the Sky Splitter come in, and Steel Fan goes in with the Unstoppable Onslaught, but is get taken down. That means, at best, this is a 4v5 for the soul fight coming in for Team Billy, who now have that big advantage.
That's
but we do see
massive
Royal
pick, because
topside.
look what's, Royal has TP. He's able to create pressure. Steel Fan's
Goes
not
for the
there
pull,
anymore. He's dead. And this should be soul.
This looks like they're going to go for both. Looks like they're taking the Dragon and just having Royal split. And yeah, look at
Well, they don't need to because they're not getting
taking it
contested.
back.
It's free.
They're not contesting. This is a free Mountain Soul.
It's free low.
Meanwhile, topside, just autoing away at that tower, and Royal has almost taken it down, whereas we see TDK trying to rotate up, trying to clear some waves. They're going right to Baron. They are spotted out by some wards. They don't care. They're right on it now. They know. Yeah. They don't care.
This is kind of dangerous because of how much gold they're sitting on.
Coming right over them. There's Pandorum, Spiritless, and TDK all in the area. Helix is here as well. All 5 members of both squads pull over the wall. Steel Fan gets pulled in by the rocket grab, knocked up with the Power Fist. But Yoke, that's not the person you want. The TP is coming in by Royal. Here he comes, Realm of Death onto TDK, trying to get onto him. Steel Fan's getting chunked out. In goes Helix with the flag drag. Stormbringer away to try and get out of the area. Royal is in the middle of 3 right now. Is being chased down. Cataclysm roots him in place as he is taken down by Spiritless. That is a 1 for 1 in the end with Steel Fan and Royal, both top laners falling. But it looks like in the end, Team Swamp Donkey has come out with the health advantage.
Yeah, I mean, nothing won, nothing gained basically at that point. They get a kill onto Royal. Steel Fan dies. Both top laners perish. Baron's not taken. Pretty much mitigates a lot. I will say Royal was sitting on about 2k.
Finch is looking for it. Oh, he's just clearing the way. Never mind.
Nah.
I thought he was going to interrupt somebody.
Finch was looking for
so many
some
times
CS.
to just expect it now.
Finch wanted that CS. I think he was like,
CS above all.
I gotta play a little bit more safe.
Helix in his own jungle.
Finch, oh wait, never mind. I lied.
Oh, Finch found Spiritless. He's going for it. He doesn't know Helix is here.
Oh, that is...
Here. The exhaust comes in. Exhausted away. Flag drag comes out. Comeuppance come out. Not enough. He falls, giving a massive shutdown over to Spiritless on this vein.
Yeah, I definitely talked too soon. I think Finch just wanted to be like, nah, I gotta do it.
Yeah, Finch is feeling himself. Had a great early game. Has not been able to find the same success. And Spiritless has silently been coming up. Stacking up. Has 2 items completed. Taking a reset right now. Getting a big 3rd component. Working towards that Blade of the Rune King. Becoming a problem, really. And kind of able to melt through whoever they want. Meanwhile, the rest of Swamp Donkey rotating over towards this top side of Baron. Trying to get the vision control back.
Yeah. And this game, even though there's a big gold lead, a soul on one side, it feels like it's kind of even, which is very odd.
Absolutely. It's the fact that the Vayne, Kassadin, and Sion have all brought their scaling into play. But the fact that Billy has that soul, has the gold lead, is very much advantageous.
Yeah, and eventually, you know, another item, this vein could pop off in one team fight. It's very easy. A lot of the gold is on the carries of Team Swamp Donkey, right? It's on the vein, it's on the Cassidon, and not only that, Pandorum is extremely close to level 16. I say
Absolutely.
close, but he's 2 levels. Two
Hey,
levels
he's two
isn't that big.
levels, but he also has Rod of Ages, which
Yeah,
when it stacks to 10, gives him an automatic level.
pretty much.
TDK in a difficult spot here. Yoke is in the area. They're looking to run him down. Nope, they're just going to back up. Rocket grab goes wide, not going to catch on anybody. Looks like they're just going to go for the red buff and bait instead.
Let's see, 4 minutes. 4 minutes for that. I think Pandorum will hit 16 before 4 minutes ends.
He should hit. He should.
Actually, it depends how much CS and XP he is able
Well,
to
the big
get
thing.
in Baron
Oh,
Sword.
they're just going to Baron now.
But Pandorum has TP, right?
And Royal's just distracting. He's trying to play bodyguard. He takes Spirit into the Death Realm. You're not going to win that, but he doesn't need to. He's just buying time for his team, who take the Baron and leave.
Yep.
That's one for Baron. That's absolutely worth it if you're the side of Team Billy. But the big fight that we care about right now is in a minute 40 at Elder. That's what could very much decide this game.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, even though Team Billy is up 7.1k gold, that doesn't mean anything.
No.
One Elder fight win, if Spiritless or Pandorum
Elder
are
can
able to
change
do well.
this game entirely.
Yeah. 100%.
Right now, we see everybody fighting for this mid-wave control, as they know Elder is in a minute. This is the big fight. This could very well be the game. Both people loading up on wards, trying to get vision control in the area. And right now, mid control does go over to Team Billy. They're looking to try and catch Felix. They pull him in, the rocket grab into the rocket fist, into the knockup off the power fist. There comes the comeuppance, but it's not going to do much. Swings around, tries to get around the turret, but they're just going to chunk him out to about health.
Yeah. There's definitely one thing to note, is how, like, I would say worthless.
Arx wants that grump, but Finch is going to take it instead.
I wouldn't say worthless of these ults, but like Action, the ult is definitely the worst part of his kit, because Action, if he had a good ult,
a lot of Team
you'd be
Billy's
broken.
team fighting ultimates are lacking, shall we say?
Yeah. I mean, the ultimates, yeah, like I said, it's not that major for Team Billy, but definitely if you're Team Swamp Donkey, these ultimates can make or break a team fight.
Something to note, Pandorum, level 15, 9 stacks on that Rod of Ages. Either he hits level 16 on his own, or it finishes stacking, which is a big thing. Yoke gets the pull, goes wide.
The Elder's up.
Steelfan, though, catches...
Look at top lane.
Red. Yeah, you're right. Top lane, Royal's just shoving. He does have TP to join, which means something's going to have to happen. Steelfan is taking the back right now to try and match this, because they know that somebody needs to be back. Finch interrupts it. Finch goes in, gets the interrupt, flashes away. But here comes
Finch might die for
flashes
this.
in, is exhausted. Arclight, Arcane shifts in. Cataclysm in
Spiritless.
on to Singular Bread. Has to drop the Sky Splitter, tries to get the shield. Pandorum chasing him down. Yoke pops that static field to try and slow down and away. But Spiritless is chasing. Helix is chasing. That is two
that's
down there.
Down. That's mid lane down. This should be an Elder.
Royal, meanwhile, taking the tops of the base, is going to get this inhibitor possibly. But Pandorum is back. He has level 16. He has the finished Seraphs. Sorry, not Arc. He has the finished Arcade.
What? That hits?
Pull the wall. Arx goes down. Steelfan's arrow. Spiritless is running away for his life as he kites down Yoke. That is 4 members on the side of Team Billy down. Pandorum, meanwhile, threatening Royal, as this will be a free Elder Dragon for all 5 members of the side of Team Swamp Donkey, and this game is blown wide open.
And that is extremely important. One team fight can end the game instantly. You have Elder, you have a level 17 Cassin, you have a Vayne that is 11-3. It could be a 5-0 ace. You run it down
Vayne,
mid,
just
you hit the
finished
Nexus,
your
you win the game.
Yeah. yes, Team Billy has opened up the base. They just cracked top inhibitor. And actually, Team Swamp Donkey hasn't taken a tower yet.
Yep, exactly. There's a lot of free
They have
gold on the
so
table.
much standing gold on the map. They may look behind, but it's very much doable. But there comes the unstoppable onslaught through mid. They're trying to pick Royal right now. Helix is looking around. Massive pull, though, by Yoked. Arc's pumping
You
out
say
the damage.
massive, I say...
He's down to half health. He's down to a third health. He's down to half health.
Right.
Helix going in. Looks for that Cataclysm. Pulls him in. Knocks him up. Cataclysm in. Traps Yoked. Yoked will trade one for one.
Watch out,
Pandorm's
about to go crazy.
coming in. He shreds him. Down goes Royal. Finch is next. Falls to Spiritless. 3 for 1. The hook is not what you wanted there. We see Steelfan taking this back, answering the minions up top, getting himself a health reset, which is what you need. This comp of Swamp Donkey has come online.
I mean, you can't fight a team when they have Elder. Why? Because you will just evaporate into thin air.
Because suddenly you have 25% less health than you thought you did.
Pretty much. And then, not only that, you're playing against a true damage dealing Vayne. You're dealing against Cassidon. You know, even Helix can still do a ton of damage to one-shot like a squishy.
Absolutely. Pandora, meanwhile, just shoving out this mid-wave. Has hit that dangerous point.
This gold lead is gone. It's 1.5k gold.
There is no gold lead.
Yeah, and unfortunately, right, this soul doesn't matter as much as other souls would have been.
Mountain Soul, in my opinion, is not something that's going to help Team Billy here. It's not going to be what they need in these team fights. They needed that's something you want against Poke, not against an all-in comp like what Swamp Donkey has.
Yeah,
and really looking at it, it feels like the scaling of Team Swamp Donkey has come online and overtaken all of what Team Billy has really worked for. The Cassidon's online, the Vayne's online, the Scion's online. Those are your 3 big late-game monsters that are here.
Yeah, the major thing is, you can't just assume that the game is over, right? Because one bad play can be the end of the game.
One bad game ends the game, because...
one bad game ends the game?
One bad play ends the game. But yeah, looking at it, top lane inhib is open. Mid lane inhib tower is open. Somebody wipes, the game's done.
Yeah.
Right now, looks like mid control is what the fight is over. Baron is available on the table. Elder is up in 3 minutes.
Oh,
Yoke
no.
forced to flash away. Helix was looking for it. Cataclysm in. He's really deep, though.
Oh, Yoked is just
But here comes Pandorum on the follow-up. Doesn't matter how deep you are.
Oh, Spiritless
is running him down. There's the autos coming out of this Vayne. She's popped the Midnight Hour. She's trying to chase it down with the tumbles. And Finch trying to chunk through Steelfan, but he has so much health right now. And they're forced out of this Baron area.
Team Swamp Donkey actually come back from 2 major gold deficits?
I think it's going to happen, personally. We see right now Royal split pushing in the bot lane, but Pandorum's there to answer it. And Spiritless is just going to shred through this Baron, while Steelfan goes in with the Unstoppable Onslaught, shuts down, and keeps Singular Bread completely out of the area. They're peeling off and onto Singular Bread right now, and now they're looking at Finch next. There's the root coming out of TDK, and Spiritless has the pop of that, of the Immortal Shield, though. It does not matter, though. They're onto the Baron right now, and they are going to secure this. Arcsknight doing the best he can to try and poke away, but it doesn't matter. This will be secured by Team Swamp Donkey, as they now put themselves into a gold lead for the first time in this game.
Yeah, and it feels like that soul doesn't mean jack shit. Because
it doesn't, in all honesty, because all that matters now is the Elder that's in a minute and a half.
I feel like after they took that soul, the game just turned not for the better, for the worse.
In all honesty, them securing that soul may have been problematic in the fact that it put Elder on the board.
Yeah.
But look at this. Unstoppable Onslaught comes in. Steelfan runs into Royal. Royal has to pop the Realm of Death onto TDK to try and escape. He's not going to. He's surrounded by 3. It runs out now. Helix and Steelfan are in the area. Royal is in trouble. He does have TP. He's in a bounce castle right now. He's going to fall here.
Oh,
but he
should
be up in time for... Yeah, he falls now. He should be up in time for Elder. Spiritless may be caught, though. Gets condemned to the wall, but stunned by the Thundering Smash, and that's Spiritless going to be down. That is a massive pick, but Arcknight's low, gets smashed by Steel Fam, and he goes down as well. Pandorum is now here. He's the carry that everyone's looking for. He's shredding through, takes down, nobody yet on to Finch
Oh,
with
that's a
the
lot of
slow
damage.
of that Force Pulse, dashing around into the Rift Walk, takes
Man, that's
down
game right there, right?
Singular
Has to
Red.
be.
They're walking mid. They're looking to end this game. Only man standing is Yoked. He's the last man standing
Yoke's
of
got to
Team
sell all of
Billy.
his items, build full AP. It's only chance.
Absolutely. There's a chance. It's not big, but there is still a chance. Elder is up
Nah,
now, but they don't care.
I
They're
think that's
taking the
over.
game. They're taking the series. They're taking a 2-1 start to their lives here in the Proving Grounds Gold BOL. But look at this. This is the end here for Team Billy. An 0-3 day will bring to an end their nights. Yoke goes for a power fist, goes for the rocket grab, pulls a minion, and it will come to an end. Team Swamp Donkey take a great comeback and take the victory over Team Billy.
Yeah, and I think I will have to. I know my team won game 3. We put us to 2-1 for the day. I'll have to do some calculations to see who makes it. In group 1, but it was definitely a fun
Absolutely.
day, fun streaming day again. I know you were there yesterday, and I know you're here today, and I don't know if you're
And
here
guess what?
tomorrow.
I'm here tomorrow.
Let's go.
I am going to lose my voice by the end of this.
It's okay. I definitely enjoyed the casting part of this. It's very fun to watch best of ones.
Oh, this is so fun.
Yeah, and
I love this so much. I love this more than playing, to be honest.
it's I think the biggest thing about this is there's not money on the line. There's not anything major on the line.
The only thing on the line is pride.
Yeah, and these teams don't play together, or these players don't play together, and just coming together, making big comebacks like these is massive. But in the end, we'll see you on Saturday for more games. I don't know
For
if I
gold.
put you on well, for all 3 actually.
In all honesty, I'm free, so if you ever need somebody, just let me know. If you don't want to cast, let me know and I'll do it. If you need a play-by-play, if you need a color, just I'll be there. I have no life.
What did
I'm on break right.
I don't know what I put on the schedule. Completely
We'll
honest.
figure it out later. But everybody, thanks for stopping by. This has been our gold scouting grounds for the night. Before we go, Bully, who's your MVP for Team Swamp Donkey?
Ooh, it's close. I think it has to go to Spiritless. Obviously he did a ton of damage. Paydorm did a lot of damage, but I think he scaled up a little bit too late.
I think the Frozen Heart Rush hurt him. I think
Yeah.
if he had Roa and Seraphs earlier, he would have been a lot bigger threat. But once he got online,
Yeah.
he was online and dangerous. But I agree with you that I think Spiritless was massive this series. For this game.
I think the bulk amount of damage like Pandorum did was literally in the last probably 10 minutes.
He became the major carry towards the very end of the game is when he came online, which is what he needed to be. Because when Spiritless got picked, it was looking like in trouble. Like, oh my god, they lost their big carry. But then Pandorum came in, just swinging Cassidon, and like, okay, I'm going to murder 3 of you all at once, and suddenly the game's over.
Yeah, and I think what actually hurt this game for Team Billy is Royal fell behind, right? In a matchup that early on that he should win. It was going all right until they over-aggressed mid lane. Yoked kind of went for the flash hook, but on top of that, what happened is they got re-engaged on, and a lot of gold went back to Team Swamp Donkey, and they were able to use that gold, even though they lost soul. They were able to basically claw back, making sure that their carries scaled up, got to their major carry points, and they didn't look back.
Absolutely. I think the fact that it was a mountain soul very much benefited the side of Swamp Donkey, as it was the least problematic soul given their call.
And I am curious to see what happens, because I think.
So I believe Team Billy will not advance. Team Swamp Donkey at 2-1 should advance.
Possibly, right? Because it could be. I think Team Billy is 0-3, right, for the day.
Billy's 0-3, so they're done.
0-3.
The-
So
did Team Storm beat
three
Team
team.
Solver? Do we have
If
three
there's a
2-1 teams?
yeah, let's see. Team Storm 2-0. I think they're still playing. Oh
Storm
no,
versus
Team Storm
Solber.
3-0.
Okay, Storm 3-0, Swamp Donkey 2-1, Solbert 1-2. So
Yeah.
it's 2 teams per group advance, correct?
Yep.
So Storm and Swamp Donkey will be advancing from Group B. I don't know Group A.
Let's see Group A. So Team Bully 2-1. Let's go.
Nice.
Team Pack Up Hall. I think they are 2-1 as well. And Team.
Do we have a 2-1, 2-1, 0-3? I mean 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 0-3?
I believe that's a possibility.
All right, then that one's a bit more finicky to figure out who advances.
Yeah.
As they all beat each other, and then they all beat somebody else.
Yeah. It all comes down to average win time. So.
All right, we'll be
The good
sure to
thing
let
is,
everybody know.
I'm pretty sure my team won pretty fast in those games.
Well,
So.
we know for a fact Team Pocket Paul won pretty quickly game number 1.
Oh yeah.
We will have to see how things turn out, though. Of course, that will be here on Saturday when we return to Gold. Tomorrow, we are heading down to IBS, where we have 4 teams facing off with Team Toxin, Team Storm, Team Gajis, and Team Kopek, all facing off here at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be here. I will be joined by a good friend who you just saw compete in Arcs Night. We'll be casting once again. Bully, thank you for joining me last night. Thank you for joining me tonight. I realized I didn't do this last night. I want to throw a big thank you from last night, as she's not here, to Pop Tart for producing last night. Tonight, I want to thank Caddy. He's here producing for us tonight. Big thank you. Wouldn't happen without you guys. Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hope you've enjoyed the games, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.